Yeah, this is gonna be a great episode already. What do you mean no intro? Nothing's wrong with not having an intro. This is just a conversation.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I've been watching Joe Rogan stuff lately, and I just pictured that as being us right now.
Yeah, except we're in Alabama. No one really knows who the fuck we are in the first place, and no one should really care. It's just something we do for fun. So tell me about post-nut syndrome, TJ.
I don't even know where to start. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a epidemic or like anything crazy.
But it's harmful. It damages people psychologically, if you think about it.
Have you ever experienced post-nut syndrome?
I'm a fucking virgin. I'm the wrong person to ask, man. I'm a goddamn loser, man. I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
I think a lot of people like in college maybe experience post-nut syndrome.
Well,
maybe not though, because a lot of the dudes that are douchebags that I know, they don't care, even if it's someone that's like a double bagger.
What's a double bagger? You're throwing in all these terms that cool people know.
No, where you put two bags on a girl's face.
This episode's already so terrible. Holy shit. Oh no.
I mean, truthfully though, like, so there's phases in terms of like me personally, like high school, both of us, we didn't do shit. You know, we were just casual people, kind of like you and Austin talked about in y'all's podcast. It's just like we stuck to our group and kind of that was it.
Yeah.
And it's like, then you go to college and, you know, you start doing shit and it's just like, do you regret it? Maybe. Should you? No. Unless, you know, you got issues or have problems now. Yes. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Some people go nuts when they go to college because they get that first taste of freedom. It's kind of, I compare it to when the 16-year-old starts driving a car and they understand they can go somewhere without their parents for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
That just ramps up to about 700 in college.
Or really religious people.
Oh, yeah. I always talk about it. It's always the really religious, sheltered kids that go nuts.
I think we know a few.
Yeah, we know a few. I mean, we know a ton. I mean, I'm not going to, well, I might throw out their names by accident. I mean,
I'll try and keep names out of it.
It's the Wild West. This show is, the internet's the Wild West, dude. I mean, I don't know.
I think there's a lot of people that just go crazy in college and it's just like, I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, I went crazy for a while, but I wouldn't say like I wasn't sitting there getting blackout drunk every night or anything like that.
Yeah, you told me you're doing other things.
Well, now it's different now.
I don't know.
Change of pace.
Yeah, I mean, that happens when you go through a bit of life. I feel like people, they kind of get into that phase a bit because they feel like they don't have much time. There's something weird about this society where where a lot of people they expect to be where they want to be by 25 or 22. And I might have to do something.
That shit isn't going to happen.
Yeah, that shit ain't going to happen, especially not in this, just the way the world works now.
Are you 23 yet or 22 still?
I'm 23. Yeah.
So, see, like, we're both 22, 23. I mean,
I'm nowhere.
I have no fucking idea what I want to do. And I mean, I've already graduated, have a degree. I mean, I'm not even using my degree at all.
I think, and that's what people need to understand, I think, is it's okay. You're going to wander through the desert for a bit. That's probably why so many people are depressed too, because they feel like they're not getting anywhere, but they're still young.
Yeah.
You gotta wander through the desert a little bit. I mean, no one's gonna take you seriously until you're 30, realistically.
Or you have a beard.
Or you have a beard, yeah, that's true. That sucks. Can you grow a beard? I can't.
No, I'm super, there's no video being shown right now where I'm touching, but you can see there's like a patch in between like my sideburns and my chin. So like it's like not full, but it's close enough.
Yeah, man, dude. I just got the shitty Asian genetics where you can't get, where if you do get facial hair, it's really patchy, makes you look like a pedophile too.
That should lead into the topic of what you and Austin talked about Asian girls.
No, we started talking about it and we just completely went off the rails from there.
I think we've already gone off the rails from post-nut syndrome.
Yeah, we have.
But to answer it, it's definitely a thing. I don't think it should be like your concern. Like you sit here and be like, oh damn, I should have done that, unless like, you know, like I said, unless you run into issues with like STDs, there shouldn't be like a oh shit, I shouldn't have done that after.
Well, how common is STD problems?
I don't know.
I don't
I
know
don't know
either.
the percentage of. I think it's like 1 in 4 people have herpes.
That's fucked up. Well,
But
I mean,
that's
a lot
like
of
type A,
content.
type B,
Right.
and I don't know which is which. But
Well, I don't know either. We were always joking around with you, saying you should always you're saying you should go to the doctor and get checked, TJ.
jeez,
Yeah, you don't remember that? We would hang out, play cards in Austin's basement, and you, me, Austin, and Tony, and then you would say you should go get checked up, TJ. See what's going on.
just blast me on podcast. On.
Yeah, man, we're just friends right now. Yo, how was
I'm good.
How was your trip? Where'd you go?
For spring break.
Yeah.
Oh, so I went to Panama City, not to party, just with like my girlfriend and her family.
Right. I heard Panama City's pretty clean now.
No, it was fucking wild. Like,
Really?
There's people everywhere still, like people on the
Oh,
street
man.
wearing nothing. It's crazy. You look at the people on the street and you're like, first off, you complain about not having money in college. And now you're at spring break spending thousands of dollars on alcohol and food
Whoa.
and somehow living in a condo that probably costs $800 a night,
God,
but you're broke. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't. If I was a parent, I'd there'd be some ass whooping going around because that means I failed as a parent.
Dude, that was one thing I was talking about with my brother. And I was like, man, I hope to God, like, when I have a daughter, if she's a whore, dude, I don't know what I'll do.
I don't know. It's weird because that definition of what's a whore is gonna change very soon. I mean, people in this society are a lot more open.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
Nothing's wrong with that. I mean, but at the same time, where am I going with this train of thought? People in this society this is probably one of the best times to be growing up, or the best era to live in, because you have so much room and opportunity to express yourself and who you are without worrying about your hand getting chopped off by like some lord.
See,
You know?
yes and no, because everyone's a pussy, so everyone gets offended by everything you do.
Well,
at the same time, you can express yourself, but then you get criticized,
I feel
or
like
someone's too sensitive or gets offended by what you do.
I feel like the sensitive people, they're being put under a magnifying glass. And in reality, there's not really that many of them. It's just the focus is always on them.
I think there's plenty of them.
You think there's plenty of
Yeah,
them?
like you can't say certain things, or if you use the wrong pronoun, that's an HR case. I mean, like you look at work, and let me say this before I go into work situations. Anything I say within this podcast does not reflect my company's views or beliefs.
So just for the
so let me say that.
so just so your safety, for your safety, I mean,
we
we're
won't
not
s-
going to mention the company. You work
we
for
won't
then,
say where I
is what
work
you're saying.
or who I work for.
I mean, I'm pretty much fucked. I mean, this is episode 16, so whatever company I work for, if this
I mean, you can Google my Facebook and find out who I work for when you put my name in the YouTube clip.
I'm just gonna imagine. I've been thinking a lot lately about the episodes I've been doing, and I just see, wow, I've done 16 episodes ranging from an hour to 2.5 hours each.
You know how hard it would be to find a job if they just Google. Do you have your name on it, like the full name?
Yeah, the name of the show is the Cmon Anh Show.
But do you have your last name in there or no?
No, I don't put my name in the
you'd
show.
be fine.
But-
But everyone else, you blast their name like Austin Staples, episode 12.
Oh no, I didn't think about
it
that.
It says it on the title.
Oh no, but
so just put TJ.
I just think about it, man, and I just think, what if the show blows up when I don't expect it to, and I'm sitting there working, a stable, nice paying job, and all of a
Fucking
sudden,
HR's coming after you.
yeah, the HR department just comes after me out of nowhere. I'm
Well,
like, okay.
that's where I was getting to. Like, I mean, there's so many things you could do wrong. Like, you're tiptoeing around people in a workplace, and it's just like, it shouldn't be that way. Like, I shouldn't have to sit here and watch. Like, I have no problem with people and their sexualities, but like, if I say the wrong like pronoun by accident, or like I go to like the phrase of "how are you guys doing" or something like that, it's just like, I'm not judging you by your gender, but if you get offended by it, I think you're just sensitive. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, your environment, the environment you work in is completely different from mine too, where I don't have to, where most of the clients I'm working with, I know them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think of it. So I don't know what that's like. I mean, I haven't worked in a corporate environment in a while. Most of the people I work around, I mean, they're degenerates to begin with. So, I mean, it's like, It's the
They
same
don't
as
get offended by anything.
they don't. It's like when you know a friend for a long time and you just say, hey, what's up, bitch? I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, what's up?
I mean, that's how we talk.
We
Me
do.
and you, all of our friends.
Yeah, fuck you, TJ. Oh man,
I'll just leave now. We'll just end the podcast.
Yo, this is the shortest episode ever, man. 10 minutes and 20 seconds.
I'd like to do my sign off.
Yo, so I don't know why I put this topic on. Why do adults still enjoy Disney World? You and Austin were talking about it the other day.
I don't know. I think Disney's the type of thing, at least for adults. If you have kids, it makes sense because you want to see them enjoy it. But it's the same shit over and over again. Like I'm going, I think we talked about because I'm going there for work purposes because they're flying me out there, and I just I'm not that excited for that. I'm more excited just to be fucking off.
Pay time off, basically.
Yeah, I mean I'm getting paid to work even though I'm not working.
I've been thinking about that.
I think seeing like certain things like the Marvel Studios or like Universal Studios in general would be cool, but like I care less about rides or like fucking Mickey Mouse and stuff.
Funny that you say that that most parents want to bring their kids there. I've been thinking of that because if you do get kids, would I be able to suffer through taking them to an amusement park?
I don't think I could, dude.
I don't think I could either. That sounds so messed up, but I feel like I would want to make them do activities that are more fun than just go to Disney.
I mean, that's like people that are like, you shouldn't force your kids to be athletes, but I want my kids to be fucking athletes.
Well, I want don't force your kids to be athletes, but make sure
I'm gonna break his back if he doesn't.
Right. You need to.
They need to do something.
Teach them how to be
have
healthy.
some sort of motivation. Okay, let me put it that way. No, not necessarily sports, but like be motivated to do something. I don't give a shit if it's playing Call of Duty and making money off of that, which would be awesome. But like something. Don't just sit at home watch fucking Netflix all day.
So speaking of that, since we're going on a tangent, we're going off the rails and talking about parenting. I mean, I see this all the time with a lot of Asian families. The new generation, for example, I call them iPhone parents because what they do is they just give their kids tablets and iPhones, and they don't realize how addictive the phone is because it's an integral part of people's lives and people don't realize it. So if you put it into a kid's hand, like a 5-year-old kid's hand, whose brain is developing, I mean that shit just gets scary in my opinion. I mean,
but I mean, I feel like partially you look at how smart kids are that can navigate like iPads and shit like that when they're 3. I think that part of it's cool, but I mean, like you look at. I don't see any kids play on the street anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's how we grew up, was like on the fucking street. Like not like in the hood on the street, but like playing in the streets or like just being at like across like with Andrew living next to me.
Yeah.
One of our friends. Let me say that. Like we used to just hang out like with people in our neighborhood all the time.
Yeah, man. I mean, the first time a couple weeks ago, I actually saw some kids ride bikes around. I'm like, holy shit, people still do that?
And I feel like a part of it around here is like everything's so like you said, technology based. Like even with like 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, whatever it may be. Like there's nowhere for kids to just go hang out. I feel like.
Yeah, and we've gone from, I mean, just a short amount of time ago. I mean, it used to be you just hit up someone on the phone and talk to them, and now it's just. You text message, and I just feel like that's when it comes to text messaging, you can't really understand the nuances in that when compared to talking to someone, because with text messages, I just see it as black and white because that's the only way I can interpret it. But when it comes to talking to people, in person or over the phone, there's more nuance that I can understand because I can understand the inflection in their voice.
Oh yeah,
I can understand if it's sarcasm or they're fucking around.
I mean, that's just like my parent. Like you're so used to texting someone, and if they reply K or okay, like shit, something's wrong. You know what I mean? Like you assume something's bad.
Yeah.
But like our parents, like my mom and my dad, they text me K, and I'm like, wait, what's wrong? And they'll be like, nothing. I was just saying okay. But like. They don't get that part of texting, but like I feel like we do slightly. So there is like a tone in texting almost. Based on us being so used to it. You know what I mean?
I never really understood the tone text, especially when talking to people I've never talked to before.
See that?
Yeah,
that's where it's tricky. I mean, I haven't talked to anyone outside of, like my friends or like my girlfriend over text, like just someone new. And forever, because I, can't do that.
Right.
But I mean, like, there's definitely like a way of like trying to figure it out at first because everyone's different when they text.
Right, but I guess I'm too old school, and that's probably why people like me will die out in the future, and like my thought will be stupid, but I mean, when I'm talking to a new person, I prefer to talk to them in person because I feel like that's how I get to know someone a little bit better, know what makes them tick, especially when talking to girls. If I'm interested in the girl,
You'd rather like meet them up at like a coffee house.
I'd just rather talk, and I just only use text as logistics. But there's a problem with that where we're just so kind of programmed to go through that texting phase.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's expected. It's like it's like first slide in the DMs, or somehow meet them from a friend of a friend, or just at some event, and then 2, you look at it like, okay, now I got to text them for 2-3 weeks, and
all right, well this shit cut off. So go on, TJ.
Where did it cut off? So I know where to start.
Okay, just start off at when you were talking about.
So when you meet someone or somehow just get in contact with them, you go into it's like a texting phase now. So like, I don't know why or how it turned out to be that way, but like you kind of expect to text someone for like 2 or 3 weeks before you even hang out, or it would just be weird. You know what I mean? For most of our generation, I say. For a lot of people, like or other people, like you were saying, like it's kind of me personally, I would feel weird just being like, hey, let's go have a drink or something. Let's meet up in person before I get to know you. To get to know you.
I mean, I guess I could see where that's coming from. But at the same time, well, I guess it makes more sense to me. Just because that's how you get to know someone better. I mean, when it comes to texting, I mean, everyone does this. You get text messages, you don't respond. So it's. And then they got all these fucking mind games going on that I don't know what's going on. So when I look at texting, I just see it as black and white. When someone doesn't respond, that means, hey, they're not interested. Or if I don't respond, that means, hey, I'm not interested.
Oh, yeah.
Which, that's the way I put it now. It's very black and white. But some people treat it like a game, and I just hate that shit. Because when I try to talk to them in person, some of them aren't very interesting, in my opinion.
That's where it's almost like you're getting catfished when you text someone.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have great conversations over text because you're sitting here waiting, like, 5-10 minutes to talk to somebody or what, even longer, so they can sit there and think about what they're going to respond to. If you sit there and wait 10 minutes to respond to whatever you were to say to me in person, it'd just be weird.
It would be weird, and that's just not natural. And that's why some of these kids just don't have social skills. I say kids, but I'm only 23. Hang on a second.
I mean...
Yeah.
You had to think about how old you were?
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't. God, I'm stupid. It's
weird to think we're this old, though. I mean,
we're still young in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's weird to think how quick time just flew by.
Oh yeah. I think it's funny us talking about how young or old, whatever you want to consider us to be. Or is it still going? We're good?
Yeah, it's still going. We're good. I'll let you know if it cuts off. I'll let you know.
You and Austin were talking about mortgages.
Yeah.
So people having a house, and y'all were like, I think if any of us, of our friend group, has a house, it would be me. And I want to know why y'all think me, or why you personally think it would be me.
If there's one thing I think why, it's because you're very financially adept, just at making money and just finding new shit and new ways to make money. Yeah, basically. And one, you're probably the closest thing out of the whole friend group, besides from Daniel, to resemble like a normal. I guess you're probably funny. Daniel and you are the 2 closest people to normal out of our friend group.
What do you mean normal?
Huh?
What do you mean by normal?
When I say normal, I think of the the generic. I'm not generic, but
like Monday to Friday job.
No.
Married at 25.
No. The ideal, nice family home life with 2 dogs.
We're white.
No, it doesn't have to do with white. I mean, Daniel's girlfriend is black.
True, which I'm not racist by any means, but that caught me way off guard.
Yeah, I was talking to him about it.
When we all, I hope you talked to him about this, because I want to know when that happened, because like it just kind of came out of nowhere to all of us.
So this is what Daniel told me: is Daniel was so focused on school, but this girl was very persistent on wanting to go out on a date with him.
Mm-hmm.
And for the longest time, he just ignored her, just focusing on school. And then one day he just clicked in his head, like, oh, maybe I should talk to this girl.
So he played hard to get.
I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. I guess he's playing hard to get, but he'll probably say, oh, I was just focused on school, which he probably was.
It just caught me off guard.
It did too.
I didn't see Daniel to be into darker skinned people.
That's so fucked up to say.
I just it's like you like Asian girls.
Yeah, everyone
has their own type.
Yes, preferences. This episode's going fucking haywire. But yeah, preferences, TJ.
I think everyone has their types. Like, honestly, I couldn't tell you who Austin's type is. I don't think any of us know.
I don't think any of us.
I think he's everywhere.
I think he'll just take what he can get.
I think we need to have Tony on the podcast.
I've been trying to get Tony. Doesn't want to do a solo podcast. He doesn't mind doing a group, but
that group one's gonna be a shit show.
It is. It's gonna be 7 people, right?
We're if you think about Sean, that's him and Tony. If Tony's drunk, we're gonna have to cut.
No, we don't.
Censor.
We're not gonna have to censor anything. It's fine.
No hard R's.
If they say, "Oh no," but yeah, talking to Tony, it's I kind of compare him to I just compare to some. Well, he's really smart. First of all, his mind is always ticking at the speed of light, so he finds himself a lot. When I talk to him, he finds himself a lot not being able to keep up with his thoughts. So some of the things he'll talk to me about are just completely incoherent.
Like a kid with Asperger's?
Yeah, basically. You think he's on the spectrum?
I mean, I've never thought about it that way, but if you look at in a sense, Tony socially is kind of weird.
Right.
And you wouldn't think he's smart, but he is.
Right.
So maybe
I think he might be.
Postpone, find out that answer. Let's ask him during the podcast.
We'll ask him if he thinks he's on the spectrum.
Have you ever been tested?
Have I ever been tested?
No, I'm talking about Tony.
Tony? I don't know.
We'll just ask him that.
Well, yeah, we'll ask him. But you remember that Kratom episode he had where he was really addicted to Kratom when he was working on his app?
He was literally buying it and sending it to my house so his mom wouldn't find out.
That's so
He was
funny,
sending
dude.
shipments of Kratom, which I don't know what exactly it is.
Isn't Kratom
it's
basically
supposed to just give you, I guess, it's supposed to be like Vyvanse or Adderall in a sense. But
so it's
like
crack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if he was snorting it, drinking it, whatever he was doing with it, but he was sending it to my house because it was illegal in certain states.
I don't know, man, but him taking Kratom and him working on the app at the same time, that was fucking hilarious. I just imagine him just sitting in his dungeon, just working on this one line of code.
I think that was before the Equation app. This was when he was trying to make like a Flappy Bird copy.
Oh.
I don't know if y'all ever, because he had me in on this shit, and I don't think we ever talked to y'all about this, but like, it was supposed to be, when was it? When did Trump get elected?
2016?
2016?
We're going to get shot.
2016?
Yeah, 2016. Because
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, I don't give a shit about politics.
I don't either.
It was in 2016 or 2015, I guess, during the election, and he was like, dude, I have a great idea. And I was like, what, Tony? He sends me this long text. He's like, I want to make like a Flappy Bird copy because you know how many how much ad revenue we would generate or just money in general from it and try and get it bought out. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Fuck it. I have Photoshop. I have it pirated on my computer so I can Photoshop whatever image you need. And so like we just go from there. And legit, it was just Donald Trump with wings fucking flapping up and down through the exact same layout of Flappy Bird. And the thing was, he didn't make the app. There was already an app built like online that you could recode into a new app.
Oh, so he basically bought an asset.
So basically he stole an asset.
He stole it? He didn't buy it?
It was free.
Okay.
And we tried to make a Flappy Bird copy. And he gave up because every time you would just fall down, it wouldn't like in the level or anything like that. So we gave up our hopes on that. It was supposed to be like Floppy Trump or some shit like that. It was something real stupid. But that was before the Equation app, and that was when he was like hardcore Kratom, staying up all night.
Yeah, I mean, I just find it funny. I never expected Tony to try to all of a sudden get into coding and try to figure out how to make apps.
I would have never expected him
nowhere.
to start taking kratom and shit like that.
Oh, man, I just look Tony to me. He
I didn't even know what kratom is. I still don't even know. Like, how do you find out what kratom was?
I don't know, dude. The internet's a scary place, and you know how Tony's mind goes. He just explores
It'd
everything.
been one thing if he'd been like, yeah, I'm doing these drugs that I know of and have heard of before. But it's like, no, there's this new thing called kratom. It's not illegal, but it will be soon.
I mean, he's always been a caffeine addict. I mean, look, I know kratom is different from caffeine, but Tony, this motherfucker would straight up, after we would get done with our poker games and go to Waffle House at 2 a.m.
He'd drink coffee.
Yeah, he ordered just black coffee. He's insane.
Dude, there's so many Waffle House post poker stories. Like, one familiar I think of was when we were all driving. I think me, you, and Austin, or maybe like there was 3 cars. So basically a convoy of us driving to fucking Waffle House. And of course we didn't go to the Alabaster one because we were scared we'd die. So we went to Pelham.
Yeah.
And I just remember I was like, oh shit, I ran that red light. And Sean, I swear to God, he's 5 minutes behind me. I see him fucking fly through the red light like nobody's business. And I'm like, we're gonna die or get arrested. Which it probably wasn't ideal for us to be driving there anyway at 2 a.m. But
yeah, well, this is the state of Alabama. The whole state closes at 9 p.m. So I mean, no one really gives a shit.
There's so many. I feel like I could talk about Sean forever. There's one time, I don't know if we told y'all this, when we drove past the alternative school going about 70, and there was 2 cops just sitting right here at the alternative school, and we were like, we sat there, we looked at each other, and we both peeled off different directions immediately, like not even going towards our houses.
Did they chase y'all?
No, I don't think so.
No?
But like that was just our fear, so we just dipped. We were gone.
Dude, that's hilarious. Sean's an interesting character. I don't know what goes on in his mind.
I don't either.
I'm pretty sure he might come off as dumb, but he's got some really intelligent thoughts. He might be more existential than me. He might be thinking of what's the purpose of human life? What's the meaning of our existence?
I don't think he thinks like that.
He might. I mean, he smokes weed.
Yeah, but that's so he can sleep.
I mean, sometimes some people who do smoke weed go on psychedelic trips.
I mean, I don't have experience with weed, so I couldn't say.
I mean, I don't either. It's just,
but
the people I'm around, they talk about it, or maybe they're taking other things.
I think they're just on crack at that point, dude. I mean, Sean, he's probably of our group the most like, he believes this, and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we say something about something, it's just done deal. You know exactly where he's going.
So what you're saying is he's very black and white, essentially.
He's very Republican.
Right. Here's a criticism I have of both, of what you call pussies and even people on the right. It's people are trying to turn it into a black and white situation when that's not the way the world works. People find comfort in there only being 2 sides of something, when in reality, to every situation, there's not 2 sides. It's It's basically 50 Shades of Gray in a trailer park. That's how everything.
So just sex in a trailer park. No, I mean like you look at like me, and I feel like we talked about this the other night. I think me, you, Austin, maybe Tony and Daniel. Outside of Sean, I feel like all of us aren't necessarily like one way or another. It depends on the topic. And that's why I don't like politics, because like I can't say I'm one or the other. It depends on what the issue is.
It really does depend on what the issue is, because a lot of people, I mean, I have topics I agree what, Republicans agree with, but their stance on some things like criminalization of marijuana. I mean, I don't agree with it necessarily.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, there's so many people that use it for good purposes that you don't know of. They just only show the bad.
Yeah, and that's going back to the whole magnifying glass analogy I was trying to make. I mean, there's this weird misconception that I used to have this misconception that everyone who smoked weed was just lazy, but in reality, that's further from the truth, because I mean, I worked with a lot of people, and that's just their vice. I mean, it's just something
I think
they
all
enjoy.
rappers, that's their vice.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of them, they're some of the hardest working people I know, who not only do music, but they have other businesses, other investments they do as well. They're hardworking people. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like just the human race in general, we're so tribalistic. We're always trying to find some shit to get mad at. Find
I mean,
someone
that's
to
why,
get,
like, and I hate to say this, because, I mean, I don't care for Trump. I mean, I'm not for him or against him. But, like, if you look at, like, everyone who's trying to run against him, they're literally basing their whole run for president against Donald Trump. They're not standing for, like, beliefs or anything like that. Like, their whole sole purpose is to get Trump out of office. And I saw someone say something on CNN or Fox News, I don't know, some white lady, and that's what she was explaining. She was like, you need to sit here and have one goal in mind and it not be about Trump and run for the right purpose instead of just running to get someone out of office.
Well, the problem is there are people who are actually focused on, situations and real issues on the country, but I mean, they're not marketable. It's basically
They're getting undermined because I haven't seen a single one.
Right.
But also, I don't look for them anyway.
Right, because they're not in the main spotlight. I mean, this is basically what's happening in politics right now is basically music industry shelving. Where, I mean, yeah, you're a good politician. It's just we can't sell your act. So, sorry. I mean, just going to throw you under the rug and I'm going to go advertise this fucking batshit crazy person talking about assassinating Trump or killing all white people because he's more marketable. I could sell more shit. I could sell more shirts to her.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, which makes me wonder, why do people not realize it?
Realize what? That people are just being shown what they want to be seen?
Yeah.
Or like, because I mean, that's with anything. That's what like mainstream music, I feel like, which you probably know this more than I do, but like the people we're hearing are the people that they want us to hear. Like in terms of like mainstream radio or like if you look at like today's top hits on Spotify, they're placing the music they want you to hear. Not necessarily people that are good or have good production value. They want you to hear that song, whether it be they're being paid to or it's just kind of the way things go.
Yeah, that's hard to explain. That's a part of the industry that I don't understand too much myself. So I don't know. Maybe that's the same. Maybe that's the same way. Maybe our existence on Earth and the universe is constructed too. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
This shit's getting way too deep.
Yeah,
But I mean, like honestly, like with my work, like I've discovered, since I work with audio, with most of my part, what I do in the company, and like I've found a lot of like really well produced music that no one's ever heard. And it's like, why not? Because there's really good like stereo, like really good left and right separation of like instruments. Like just the way they produced and recorded the music is phenomenal. But like no one would ever know this music because it's not being played.
Right. I mean, a good example of that is Kendrick Lamar's engineer or Top Dog Entertainment's engineer, mixed by Ali. Mm-hmm. His mixes were really good, and people didn't notice why they were so good, but they were really good because it gave you a feeling of space, and he was really good at manipulating the stereo field.
It's called sound staging.
Right. Right.
But no, I mean that's what I'm talking about. Like Lana Del Rey, I hate her fucking voice. But if you go and like you listen to a mastered song where it's not compressed and like you have a good set of speakers that are playing that song, like you literally, well, of course the room has to be the right, like the right setup too. Like you can feel like and hear sound all around you, and it like really fills the whole room. And it's not just you hear everything everywhere.
Yeah, so it feels like you're actually listening to it there in person, and it's not just coming through two speakers, basically.
Exactly.
Right.
Like you if you were to do like a left and right speaker, I'm kind of just going off on what I like do at work basically right now. So like if you were to sit here and have two speakers in front of you and like you have certain things coming out your left and right, but it's like dead center is that artist in front of you, like you're at a concert, and you have her guitarist to the left or her bass guitarist to the right. And like when you can pick that shit out, it's what blows your mind. And that's how you get people to buy expensive ass speakers. You blow their fucking mind with music. It's not about like the song they're hearing or telling them specs about this shit. It's about like the emotional response you get out of that song.
Maybe it's the same way that that cars are sold, especially fast cars.
I mean, maybe if like you sit in a dream car of mine, I would love to buy an Audi, like an R8, has a V10 engine. That shit would fucking blow your mind on a street, right? Like, you take off, you're gone.
Yo, you should put a lift kit on it.
Throw some fucking rims, some spinners on there.
Yo, man.
Get LED strips on the bottom when I open the doors.
Yeah, dude, and just go mudding with it, dude.
And I mean, like, I was actually looking at this. I don't make this kind of money, but it's like 138,000 is where they start at.
Where they start at?
Where they fucking start at.
Funny if that's what they offered for like the V6 option.
I don't think they have a V6. I think it's only V10.
No, I know it's only a V10.
That's the crazy thing. But it's like, I guess I see what you're saying. Like, it would have to like blow your mind driving that car. Like, it'd be like the luxury item. But I mean, like, you look at like car brands like Maserati, for instance. They put Bowers and Wilkins speakers in their car. Okay,
I never knew that.
I don't know if you've heard of them. I've probably talked to you about them since we're friends, but they're the speakers that they use at Skywalker Ranch, which is where they film and produce, not film, they produce and reproduce all the sounds that are created for Star Wars.
Wow.
So they use these for as true of playback as possible. They put these in fucking Maserati cars. That cool. Shows you, whether you believe it or not, how much Maserati puts into their fucking cars more than just you're buying a brand. Well, you're actually getting great fucking quality whether or not you listen to music in your car or not.
Well, I will argue that the Maserati Ghibli is a piece of shit.
I mean, I'm not saying they're great cars, but they care about fucking music at least.
Oh, maybe for like the higher end Maserati models, but I've seen a Maserati Ghibli in person. And I've
seen a few around here lately, which kind of was like, who the fuck's driving that?
Yeah, but they're Ghiblis. I mean, they run about between 60 and 80.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. But the interior is like a shitty 2010 Impala. Like that's their, like it just
you
feels
got those
cheap.
Cloth seats.
Yeah, it just feels cheap. I just look at it. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I get you want to drive a Maserati, but no one gives a shit. I mean, especially if the car's a piece of shit. I guess you're driving around an $80,000 badge, which doesn't make sense to me.
I would rather the inside of my car be nice than the fucking outside.
Yeah.
Like, you look at those dudes that have, like, fucking... I'm trying to think of what those cars are. Let me just throw out a year. Like, an 81 Honda Civic. Looks like shit, probably. You sit there, like, throw a V8 engine in there. You have nice leather seats, a nice audio system. Like, I'd be more in tune with that than I would the outside of the fucking car.
Well, probably I'd be tuning that car because someone put work into it. And you can appreciate that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when I'm in a car, which Lauren hates this. When I'm in the car, if someone calls me, I don't want to fucking answer, because I'd rather sit there and listen to the music I want to listen to, so I can just like enjoy driving than talk on the phone. And I don't know why. Like if I call you, I'm okay, but if you call me, I'm not gonna answer.
Okay, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I enjoy. There's something therapeutic to driving. Not only destroying the atmosphere, but there's something really therapeutic about, just driving down a highway, especially road trips. You ever been on a road trip?
Who hasn't?
I mean, some people haven't. I mean, Tony's never flown before.
I haven't. My first flight will be when I fly out to Orlando in April.
Speaking of flying, before we get back to the driving topic, I mean, Tony, didn't Tony say he was good? He had there was a position open in Switzerland or something.
Yes.
And he's like, I don't want to take it because I'm scared to fly. I'm like, you fucking pussy! You need to go. It's like,
no, I think it would have been dumb to move to fucking Switzerland in the first place for whatever he was going for. I'm sorry. When he started talking about that, I'm sorry, Tony. It's dumb. Don't even.
What was his job offer?
It was like, I mean, I think it was something with a school, remember?
I thought it was something else. He told me it was something else.
I thought it was a school-related thing. Oh, well. I just think leaving the country for a base level job, like you'd have to be at the corporate level for me to fucking move out of the country.
I didn't know it was an entry level job. I thought it was something more technical.
I don't know, man.
Because
I really have no idea.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, he called us that one night when we were discussing topics for the podcast.
Oh yeah.
But that's all I asked him about it.
Yeah, but go back to cars. I love the sound of American muscle cars, so it's gonna be something
like
along
a fucking
that.
Ford.
Yeah, man, something like a Dodge, like 392 Hemi, and like a 68 Super B.
That's funny you say Hemi, because our our that is district manager of our company. He drives a Hemi in his Dodge. I don't know what the fuck a Hemi is. I just know it's supposed to be badass.
It is. It just.
Does it have to do with the engine?
So I mean, here's what I know.
Because it's a Dodge truck.
Oh, it's a truck. So basically, when I'm thinking of a Hemi, I'm thinking of like an old muscle car, like a Dodge Coordinate Super B. And basically, when you start that car and you're going commuting to Birmingham, Birmingham will hear you when you're starting up your car.
You could just straight pipe and do that.
No, straight piping's stupid. It sounds like shit. It's not organic.
Dude, I drive a Honda Civic, right? It's always people that fucking drive Honda Civics that do that shit, and it pisses me off.
Oh,
because everyone, you see those videos where people are in a Honda Civic and like they're driving by, and instead of hearing the fucking muffler, it's like gay, like as it goes by. I'm like, oh my god, this just ruins my car.
It's called a ricer. It's called a ricer, a car that looks like it goes fast, but it ain't nothing.
I mean, mine's a fucking V4, dude. I can hit 60 fast. After that, I'm not going anywhere.
Nothing's wrong with it. I mean, Civics are.
I get good gas mileage. That's what I care about.
Yeah, those things last longer than some people. You know.
Oh yeah. I mean, mine now. I've put like fucking 30,000 on it.
Yo, dude.
I mean, like, I wasn't at 0, but I mean, like, I've never ran into any issues except for when I had to change the head gasket, which was fucking stupid expensive. Yeah. But besides that, I haven't ran into any other issues.
Yo, my dad had a Toyota Tacoma that he sold a couple years back. I checked the odometer on it when we were visiting the friend that bought it, and that shit had 600,000 miles on it. And it's still running. It's a 95 Tacoma.
Who drives that much, dude, in a truck?
Well, my dad had it for a while, and he used to work in Homewood when I was really young. So
commuting every day.
Right. He was commuting every day. First of all, he bought that truck used, too.
So probably I had like 130, 150 on it.
It had some miles on it, and then he put some miles on it. We sold it when it was around 375.
I mean, like, you look at, I mean, I guess that's a statement to the car, because like you look at like the value of old Tacomas, they're still stupid expensive.
They are.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. And then you look at the resale value of like a Mercedes and a BMW, and the shit drops. It drops 110% somehow.
But that's why it's not. That's why it's smart to buy a used car.
Yeah.
Like, I told my sister she was stupid when she bought a brand new car. She bought a Nissan Altima like 2016, I think, when she bought it. And I was like, you could have saved $7,000 getting one with 5,000 miles on it or 10,000 miles on it.
Yeah, there ain't much different with it. I mean, it might not look as clean, but that's easy to clean. Interior.
I think that's just dumb. If you buy anything new, unless it's like, I don't know, certain products, you're dumb. Like, if you're afraid to buy something, like, for instance, used or open box, whatever it may be, you shouldn't be.
So let's talk about financial responsibility then, because we started off this conversation shitting on some kids in Panama City, always saying they're poor.
They are. They just have fucking their parents' money.
Right, they are. And I just don't think okay, where am I going with this?
Financial responsibility of who?
Financial responsibility of young American adults. Even older American adults. I find it weird in this culture, particular American culture, where we will jump on it to borrow money into the future. And I never got that. I don't understand.
Depending on what it's for, it makes sense. Like a house, you have to borrow money unless you just have fucking loads. So you're gonna have to borrow money for that. I understand that.
I understand a mortgage. I'm talking about other things.
Like what?
Like shopping with a credit card for clothes.
Oh, dude, that
financing or leasing a new car. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I'm not. Maybe there's some people who are really successful who can maintain that, but I don't get it.
Leasing cars to me doesn't make sense in the first place because you're never gonna own it. That's why I hate people that think, which I understand some people have to live in like an apartment because of credit reasons or they don't have money to pay for a mortgage.
Right.
But you pay just as much money on a house payment as you would in an apartment payment, but you'll never fucking own that apartment. And that's why it doesn't make any sense to me.
I guess it depends on location too. Location has to do with it.
I mean, apartments in like New York, that makes sense. But you
Right.
sit here in the middle of fucking Alabama, own an apartment for absolutely no reason other than just to live. You're getting no money out of it in the future. You're just wasting. It's a endless hole.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just wish maybe down in the future, public education will start teaching people more about I don't know, fiscal responsibility. Because
I think the greatest thing from my college degree was the fact that we had to take a general business class.
so what did it teach you?
And I think my degree was bullshit. I'll tell you that first off. Let me just go there.
What was your degree, man?
Y'all shit on liberal arts schools. I went to a liberal arts school. You and Austin shit on our school.
I didn't shit on it.
You didn't shit on it. You just shit on liberal arts in general, which it is stupid. I mean, let me put it this way.
So let's clarify. Let's clarify before you start.
All right, let's say where I went to school.
Okay.
Or no, you want to clarify something?
Let me clarify something.
Okay.
I shit on liberal arts that are being. I shit on liberal arts that are being sold to you for a price tag. There's value in. There's value in art. Now the problem
Where's
is
the money in art?
the problem is yes that, and the problem is if someone's selling you a dream for money. That's another issue. I don't have any problem with people. We need artists. We need musicians. We need, filmmakers.
When you say artists, do you mean painters or rap artists?
Musicians, I mean painters, digital artists, I mean people
Okay.
do graphics, but
I think graphics, yes. Graphic designing and shit like that, great.
my
Who
prob-
out there makes money as a painter?
my problem is look, my problem is when people put a price tag on someone else's dreams. And that's what college is.
It is.
You put a price tag
But
on some
who says you should go to college to learn how to fucking draw? You can fucking YouTube anything, dude.
Right.
I literally, when I was in my internship, the head PT's kids, they were literally drawing based off of YouTube tutorials, and it looked fucking nice.
Yeah, it's good. And look, and some people say, "Oh, you can't learn everything from the internet." Well,
Yes, you can.
Well, just like one, yes, you can if you try hard enough. And two,
Majority of my car fixes have been based on me YouTubing this
yeah,
shit.
my cousin fixed this truck based on
I
it.
took off like the whole front of my car and replaced 2 oxygen sensors, which don't know what they do, but I replaced them.
They probably sense oxygen.
Probably. You have to change them when the light goes off, or you could get a ticket apparently for some shit.
And another thing is, I encourage people to go into apprenticeships or just do work in the field because that's more valuable.
Well, see, that's I think that's the issue with a lot of degrees. Most which I appreciate that my degree had an internship built into it where I did 360 hours. Most that I know of don't have an internship. And so you sit there and you're like, oh, I want to do this. I want to be an accountant or I want to be a teacher, or which teachers they do. So I'm going to scrap that. But like jobs, you have no idea what it's actually like doing it. And you go out there and you expect it to be one way and it just shits on you.
Yeah, I mean,
So you wasted all your money and time to be in a dead end job or a job you hate or you don't even get a job. So
right. My thing is, even when I went to school for something stupid, I mean, I was still getting work. I was doing work. I was literally like, hey, motherfucker, let me work in the studio. I was like, okay. And then I just started working from there. I don't even have a degree. And here's the messed up part. I mean, out of my group of friends who went to school for the same stupid shit I did, I mean, out of 10 of us, I think 3 of us are still working in the field. And 1 of us doesn't have a degree. Me. So it's like, what the fuck?
I mean, you look at, so I would say a degree isn't necessary, but it's good to have to your resume
I think that's going to
because
change
it does
pretty soon.
put you above a lot of people. But you shouldn't go into a degree for the purpose of I want this job because of this degree, unless you just require it. But like, so I'll put it this way: the college I went there for athletics. I didn't go there because I fucking loved the school or anything like that. And that's what you see like an issue with. All these people are taking these bullshit degrees that are athletes. And the controversial thing, whether the NCAA wants to say it or not, you got people out here taking fucking tests for your athletes. You got people doing fucking homework for athletes just so they can be athletes, not student athletes, which they strive to be because it's bullshit, dude. I mean, like, I wouldn't have gone to the school I went to or gotten the degree I got if it wasn't for athletics. I would have went to another fucking school and gotten something related to engineering.
I just wonder how the validity of college is going to maintain, because you've heard about the Harvard controversy going on, right?
That's how it is with athletics, dude. People, I'm not saying they're paying their way in, but they're fucking taking tests for them. They're doing assignments for them. Like, I've had people personally tell me, I'm not gonna say where from, that I know that had people taking fucking tests for them so they could be at the level to compete.
Just makes you wonder.
Every school's doing it. Even fucking D2 schools.
I actually had a high school teacher on, and he was telling me the one thing he didn't like about his job was the fact that it was so corporate in the sense of, he says he feels like his job now is just to shovel people into college, and he doesn't like that at all. And this is a high school educator too, so him and I had a discussion about it. So just makes
I think where was I going with the fucking college thing? Oh, I think so, like, college, I mean, that's kind of like your parents say you got to go to college, but I don't think you have to. I mean, I don't need a degree for what I do. Yes, it helps me, but I could have not gone to college and been way more advanced in where I'm at right now with the same company without having done anything related to college. And I think parents and people are pushing that for absolutely no reason. They just are like, oh, you have a degree, you're going to make more money. That's not fucking true.
Well, yeah, I'm sympathizing from the Asian point of view, because most first generation Asians, they kind of see it as that's your ticket to get in, because that was their ticket when they were going to school, and they came from dirt fucking poor. But there's also a flip side where some Asian parents, they weren't able to get as far in life. So this is sick. This is really sick, sickening thought. But they use their kids as, like, their trophies. They're living through their kids. So
that's why they make them do fucking instruments.
Or
be dancers.
Make them do instruments.
Did your parents try and make you dance on?
Fuck no. My mom and dad say straight up, like, I'm not forcing you to do shit. I'll let you discover on your own.
If you want to be a low life, just be a low life.
Right. But going back to it, I mean, that's why these Asian parents, they always push these kids to get really good grades, and then they force them to go to, like, these prestigious schools. And then what happens is these kids they focus on the wrong things, and they don't have any soft skills, or they don't have the real world experience, and they just get fucked.
I think that's the issue with degrees. They're not pushing internships. They're not pushing you go shadowing or co-oping. Like, that's where you find out if you actually want to do what you want to do, or what you're in school for is right for you.
I'm a firm believer in experience over education.
Oh, for sure.
Well, in terms of college, because education is not limited to schooling. Education and schooling, in my opinion, are two different things.
I mean, like,
shouldn't be.
To track back where I was going earlier, like, my education, being a liberal arts school, they made me take like 50% gen ed, 50% actual degree work, which makes no sense. Like, should, like, when I say that, like, like I said, I took general business, and that was probably the only class that was gen ed that I took something out of. But I had to take fucking 2 Spanishes. Do I know a lick of Spanish? No. I had to take 2 histories. Guess what? I learned it all in fucking high school and middle school. I had to take 2 Englishes. It just makes no sense, like, why schools push gen ed stuff anyway.
Because that's the only way they can make money off those industries. And here's the sad thing, too.
But you have people majoring in English that are never going to have a job unless they're a teacher.
Unless they go to a foreign country and teach there, but that's really competitive, too. I mean, look, my issue with them when they force gen ed classes like history, well, now you're forcing curiosity instead of how curiosity is supposed to naturally happen, if that makes sense. Instead of someone being...
Like, you're not sitting here searching to learn, you're being forced to learn.
Right.
So you're not going to learn the way you could.
Right. Instead of saying, like, oh, why was Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto so fucking stupid? Instead of being shoved it down your throat, you have a genuine interest. So you can go on Google and say, hey, what is Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto? Or who's Pascal? Or who's Aristotle?
I mean, I'll tell you this, dude. I don't even know how many... We took a history a year growing up, right? Probably something like that.
Right.
So, like, I'll tell you this, dude. I fucking hated history. I don't know history at all. And that might make me sound dumb, but, like, I'm not dumb. I'm not book smart, though. I couldn't fucking tell you
None of us
a
are.
date. I can't tell you when the fucking world wars are, which is dumb. But, I mean, like, I never cared for that shit. You were forcing me to learn it, and I never learned it.
I think history, when you force history education, it turns what's supposed to be a study on human habits throughout history into memorizing dates and numbers, which that's not the purpose of history. The purpose of history is to, hey, what patterns have civilization gone through? What dumb shit have we done? And hey,
yeah.
we shouldn't do that again, you know? It makes you think too. But anyway, that's a random. So before we go on off the rails on another thing, I mean, what do you do exactly for our listeners? We're an hour in and we haven't talked about what you do exactly.
What do I do for a living?
Yes, what do you do for work?
So for work, without saying what I do or where I work. Okay, without saying where I work, this is what I do. So I work, me personally, most people within my company don't do this. I kind of work for a client by client basis and almost am a system designer for them, whether it be audio needs for a home theater or they want a smart home. They want better fucking computer. I mean, I work where I'm sitting down with a client and going step through their whole house, basically, and then creating them their dream room, dream basement, whatever it may be. And it's kind of, it's more of just having a conversation with someone instead of being like, I have to sell you this. So what I do is I sell people product based on their dreams and needs. Does that make sense?
That's interesting. So you're basically a slick salesman.
I'm a system designer.
Okay. So a slick salesman.
You can say I'm a salesman because I am, but
Everyone
more
is.
of it is being, and this is my main job. I'll put that there. We'll go into my side stuff in a second. But like, it's more of people that are like, most of the people I work with are retired people that want to sit down and just listen to music. They really, like we were talking about earlier, they really appreciate really good music and they just want to listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I sit there and look at the room they're working with, and whether it be like installing in-wall ceiling speakers, just putting speakers right fucking in front of them, something like that. I'm not the type of person that just sits there, oh, what do you need today? Let me get you that.
Okay, I see.
That's why I'm not the same person as everyone else within my company.
Interesting. So how'd you even get into that position?
Well, I first started with the company just being a slick salesman.
All right.
So, and I mean, like, I did really well and excelled with just working with people. And we opened up a new part within our company with a partner brand who I technically work for.
Right.
Not the first company now. And they're all about emotion, building brands versus telling you fucking this is what this is going to do and this is why. It's let me build you emotion around it and just get you something that's going to create emotion for you versus just it's a fucking price tag.
I see.
Like I work with pretentious people, like people that are like really snobby and are really particular to, oh, I like this and I want this brand and this is why. My job is to object that and turn them into what actually suits what they're trying to do.
So basically you are translating something that is abstract and objectifying it.
I say, fuck what you want. This is what would be best for you.
That's good. The world needs more of that.
I'm very blunt with the people I work with.
Nothing's wrong with that. People appreciate straightforward and blunt nature. But how'd you get into this kind of work? And what was your degree in that you called fucking useless?
My degree was useless. I'll say that.
Okay.
Exercise science.
Okay. So what prompted you to go, besides the fact that, hey, you need a job and you need some money,
Athletics is why I got that degree.
I'm saying, why did you change from that?
So why I don't use my degree? You can't get a job with my degree.
When did you discover that?
I knew that going into it.
So you knew that from day one?
And no, with the way I am now and what I know now, I would have done a business degree. And I feel like you can definitely see that trait in me.
But is there really any use in a business degree either?
An MBA, yes. Like business administration, management, marketing, finance, stuff like that, yes.
I don't know.
Like accounting, yes.
Accounting is very helpful. Yes, that's the one I'll
But I
agree
mean,
with.
you look at corporate people, they're people that have MBAs. Like corporate America. People like they're sitting here running the companies that you see every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to do. Like I want to be so far up within a company because I've worked my ass off, one, but two, I know how to fucking run things. I know how to push numbers. I know how to get shit going. Like, and I feel like I'm not, we were talking about people that call themselves entrepreneurs, that's bullshit. You probably don't have a fucking job at all.
Yeah.
The people that sit there and call themselves that, they're probably not doing anything. They're
funny.
sitting here trying to do a startup Kickstarter to get money for a fucking headphone they made. Stupid shit like that. But like, I feel like I could be that type of person where I'm running shit, not necessarily one location or multiple locations, but I have a piece or a job in doing so.
I feel the definition of entrepreneur, in my definition, is someone who's able to solve a problem in a new way or make something more efficient. Not these dude bro fucking entrepreneurs with leased cars.
Dude, I got a fucking job.
Cause I
Got
see
an idea.
Because I see a lot of those dude bro entrepreneurs, and you know, it really just grinds my gears because I see rappers call themselves entrepreneurs. Like, I'm not talking shit on rappers who actually do go into different financial
I was
endeavors.
gonna say people like Drake or Jay-Z who like are opening or buying businesses. Yes.
Yes.
People like Lil Pump. Fuck no.
Or we don't know what he's doing. He might
He
be
might
working,
be doing that shit.
He might be working behind the scenes. I mean, that's the way you move.
But he'll
nowadays.
likely be in jail just like Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Have you seen those memes?
Yeah, it's like,
him, like
where he's ratting on people in court.
And then he says like, "Okay, I gave y'all Bill Cosby, Jussie Smollett. Who else you want?" And they say, "You still have 29 years in prison."
Dude, the
and then
funny
he
thing,
says, "Did you hear about Cardi B? Do you know how Cardi B got her money?"
dude, and no, my friend makes the greatest point ever, and I'm not sexist. I'm going to throw that out there. We're getting off track, but we're going to talk about this.
Uh-oh.
So you look at Cardi B, and then you look at R. Kelly or Bill Cosby. Everyone is saying here like they are fucking scumbags. They are dirt bags. Shit like that, right? They're not saying that about Cardi B. She drugged people and stole from them. And who knows what else she did to them, but you're not offended by that. You're not victimized by that. But why were you victimized when R. Kelly pissed on a girl? Like, her uncle sat there and just ignored everything. So you're blaming R. Kelly, but also you should be blaming that fucking uncle.
When it comes to people don't understand that rape cases do happen with men.
Oh, for sure.
People don't realize that.
But like, you sit there and you go out to someone, you're like, man, this girl just fucking raped me. They're gonna call you dumb. They're gonna call you fucking stupid. And I mean,
they might call you a little bitch.
Which you are.
yo, let's peel it back because like that's a serious issue. Rape is a serious issue.
No, I know. And I
sucks.
mean, like, I think guys should have just as much of a voice as women do, but they don't. It's a shitty thing. And I know things happen to guys, and yes, a lot of the guy rape cases are from other guys. Have you ever seen 13 Reasons Why?
Yeah.
The second season where they shove a fucking broomstick up that dude's ass?
Yeah, and then I stopped watching after
And
that.
I watched that with my mom, by the way, which was horrible.
Ooh.
But like, my mom works in a school system, and she's right. Like, those cases happen all the time, and they just get ignored.
Yeah, that's messed up.
They just call it bullying. They don't call it fucking harassment or rape. And I mean, like, I think people that are victims of that, I mean, that's a shitty circumstance because you do get called a pussy for coming out for stuff like that.
Right, which hopefully that'll change because, I mean, it just shows how hypocritical people can be, especially people who do not have their morals defined or understand where they stand morally. I mean, one example, people always talk about there's discrimination, right? They don't like discrimination in the workplace. Right, discrimination is wrong, but let's take that principle a little bit further. Let's take it into the deep end. There's another discrimination that people always let go under the nose. Can you guess what discrimination that is?
I have no idea what you're going towards.
So this discrimination is called people who I want to sleep with discrimination. Basically, beauty standards and ugly. I'm not saying like, oh, fat people are beautiful. No. Wait. It is our preference. We technically discriminate.
Everyone has their own type, kind of like we said earlier.
Exactly. And that's a form of discrimination too.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean,
maybe that's a form of discrimination taken to the deep end, but it's still the same thing. And people just let that shit go under the nose. People don't notice that. I mean,
it's like, I wouldn't say this is discrimination, but like in a workplace, whether you believe it or not, if you go for a promotion or something like that, there's someone already in mind for that promotion before you even apply for it. Whether it's you or not, you're getting discriminated against or discriminated for in a way. So like you look at like work, like unless you're buddy with whoever's hiring you, more than likely you're not going to have an upper hand, whether you have the resume or the knowledge to be in that job.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's like completely off related, but in a way you're getting discriminated against in the workplace.
There are forms of discrimination.
Not for race. I mean, there's cases where it's race, but not necessarily for race purposes or gender purposes.
And that, I guess what we just talked about goes back to why the world is just so much more than black and white, because there's different levels of discrimination. I mean, the obvious fucked up one is the
racism,
race discrimination. That's the
yeah.
obvious fucked up one. But there's other forms of discrimination that people don't realize. I mean, beauty is a big one.
But, I mean, I know there's a stereotype around race, but I'll tell you this. 9 out of 10 people that get caught stealing within my company, I'm not racist, they're black. They're young and they're black. And I don't know if it's they build the stereotype up so much in America that they feel the need to live up to those standards. I'm not saying they're standards, but that's the case.
I mean, it could be a lot of things.
It could be local, like reasons for that, like the area I work in, whatever it may be. And I mean, I'm sure there's white people that steal too. I know there is.
There are
Asian people, whatever it may be.
Oh, fuck
but it's
yeah,
like
there's a ton of Asians
everyone
still.
that we catch, they just happen to be black.
See, when it comes to
And that's
that,
why you stereotype people.
right. When it comes to that, that's a whole nother issue, because now you got to go into their environment. I believe a good indicator of how someone's going to turn out is how they react to their environment, because environment does have a lot to do with it.
I mean, that's just like the whole argument of nature versus nurture. Like you can teach your children this, but who they are around or who they grow up with is going to affect them probably more than you as their parents are going to affect their decisions and actions.
Right. No matter how Christian or how nice you raise them up to be, you throw them out in the fucking wild, they'll go nuts because they're around a bunch of other crazy people too, man. I mean, I don't know. It's a
back to entrepreneurs.
back to bullshit
No,
entrepreneurs.
like you're talking about dude bros. That's just like every entrepreneur, air quote, is that dude that went to fucking college just to party and drink. That frat boy.
Yeah.
And he probably won't go anywhere in his life.
Until he's 40.
Until he's given something.
Maybe.
Like he's been his whole life.
I feel like the best thing high schoolers can do after they get out of high school is either start working, pick up an apprenticeship, or just travel somewhere. Take an off year and just go travel somewhere. Learn about the world. Get the fuck out of America. Get the fuck out of your town. There ain't nothing you can learn.
I mean, that's just there's this meme where it's like people that grow up in your town that still live in your town by the time they're 30, and it's like they have that white lady haircut where they're gonna talk to the manager. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little bob cut.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Some girls can pull it off. Some girls can pull it off. Cute.
I don't think there's a issue with living in your hometown that you grew up in and stuff like that. But if you live in the glory days, yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, that's an issue. That's that's a whole nother issue. I don't know. The world is too amazing. There's too many different things out there for people just to stay in this one bubble forever.
That's like saying people shouldn't just work one job, and if you do, you're not using enough of your time.
Well, I mean, what I've been seeing is
I think all of us here have side hustles.
Yes, everyone I know who works a main job has like 20 side hustles. I mean, I was sitting next to a guy in class today. I mean, yeah, he has a normal college job. Like, he works at KFC, and he sells like Nike sneakers at the same time. And he's majoring in like nursing. He's doing like 20 different fucking things right now.
I can relate.
I mean, that's like that's the new American standard, which is awesome, because that means more people, especially the generation after our generation, I feel like the new guys, I feel like they understand more what it takes to really achieve what you want to achieve in this life. And that's different for everyone who wants to achieve what.
I think that's 50-50 though. Like, there's so many people that don't know how to work for something because they've been, which that's why I say 50-50. Like, half of us had to work for what we have and what we are, and then the other half has been given everything in their life. And I think we live in a city where it's really, really diluted by people like that expect everything.
There are
and so when they get in the workplace, they're going to get hit in the fucking face because they don't know how to work or how to live on their own. They just expect to be given everything.
I'm a very peculiar case because because in a sense, when I compared myself to my parents, I was given fucking everything. But for some reason,
But you still work.
I'm addicted
You
to
broke
work.
that habit.
I'm really addicted to work.
I think you easily could have fallen into that type of stereotype, but you didn't.
Yeah, and that's why my two cousins in the hood really like me a lot, because they say, "Oh, you had everything, but you wanted to work for some reason."
Cousins in the hood.
Yeah, but because
Hoodlum Asians.
yeah, it just came a point where it just came this point in high school, when my parents bought me my first trumpet, and then I just looked at the price tag, and then I just realized, that's a lot of money. I can't just keep leeching off my parents. So I just got a job at, some shitty Full Moon with a bunch of crackheads, and I had a good time.
Dude, my sister, her first job in high school was at Zaxby's in Alabaster.
Ooh.
And this was before it got okay, I would say. Like, she literally worked with druggies. They would smoke in the fucking kitchen. One chick, true story, I swear to God, made pot brownies and gave it to the managers there. Got fired for it. But I mean, like, that's what she worked with, like, just a shitty job like that. And I mean, I feel like people should experience that, because then they would appreciate people that work in those settings instead of sitting there and just fucking throwing your food at someone because that you're upset and you expect something else.
Not only that, it teaches you the value of money. Because one, I mean, you're not making that much. You're making $7.50 an hour. But you're gonna work for that $7.50 an hour. You're gonna suffer for that money. You're not gonna get given. So in that sense,
that sucks though. I mean, like,
but everyone's got to start somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But when you the big problem is when you disconnect some. Well, how am I trying to say? When you disconnect the value of currency. Okay, let me restart. What it means to people, it means a lot more when you make $56 in a day and you worked for it, than if someone just came over and handed you $100.
I don't know, man.
In my case, that's the way I felt, because I do have some very successful uncles. When they hand me money, I feel kind of guilty about it, for the most part. Maybe it's because I'm stupid, but I rarely take money from people in my family. Like, when they just offer it to me as a gift, I know they mean well.
Oh, yeah.
But there's just something in me saying, no, I can't take this. This is yours. You worked for this. I need to go work for mine.
And I mean, I think that's why a lot of us have side hustles, because one, I would say all of us probably make decent money.
Well, I mean, decent for 23-year-olds.
Exactly. Decent for our age and what we're doing in life currently. Like, we make decent money, but we also do side hustles because we still want to make more money to do what we want to do. Like, that's why the person that got me into doing side hustles was a guy named Pat, and he started by flipping shoes. Kind of like you're talking about the dude in your class selling Nikes. So he introduced me into buying and selling shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that got me into buying and selling just stuff on clearance, stuff discounted. And I'm not going to say where I buy shit or where I sell shit. I don't sell shit illegally. I'll just put it that way. And I don't scam people.
That's
but
good.
Like, I make really good money sitting here buying something and then just selling it to someone. Like shoes, for instance. And the crazy thing about shoes is the reselling value of shoes is based off of black culture. And it's crazy to think that, but like, they dictate whether or not a shoe is going to be resellable. And it's because they wear them or they display them. And so like, you're buying and selling shoes at such high volume or even low volume, you're making $400 or $500 profit off of a fucking shoe.
Yeah,
that's a women's shoe that is big enough to fit a guy. It's stuff like that.
That's weird. I never understood shoe culture. I like the way the shoes are designed, but I never understood the culture behind it. I mean,
I mean that in the nicest way possible. It's driven by black culture.
Because I think shoes have been a big part of that culture since Run DMC had that deal with Adidas.
Or even when fucking Michael Jordan started making Jordans with Nike.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. Like which is stupid because Kanye West Yeezys are outrageously priced.
Right.
But if you get a pair of Beluga 350 V2s that cost you $160 retail, you can fucking flip it for $900.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. I think there's a certain attraction. The reason why people love black culture and love shoes is
I
'cause
mean, it's music, it's shoes, it's
it's
fashion.
not only that. It's people find a certain beauty people find a certain beauty in struggle, especially people who come out from the worst situations ever.
Oh yeah.
They got dealt all the wrong cards. They got dealt the shittiest hand, but they come out on top. And there's something really attractive about it. That's why you see, well, quote unquote, you see a lot of basic white girls, like
Basic white girls drinking Starbucks, wearing Uggs.
Yeah, wearing Uggs or like love rap music because there's something that they're attracted to when it comes to struggle.
I don't know. I mean, I would say in terms of where I came from like the middle, not high class, not necessarily at the bottom, but like that, like knowing the value, like you're saying, the value of money and seeing what it takes to make money. That literally just made me obsessed with money and want to do whatever I can to make more fucking money.
So here's an interesting question. Are you after the money or are you after the pursuit of achieving money?
I think it's the achieving money, like being satisfied of how I made it. Like saying like for instance, I've already today sold 3 things that I've bought to make profit for. And I sit here and I'm just like, today was an off day for me. And I made more fucking money today than I would in one day at my company.
See, that's a good feeling. I mean, that just proves how much people need to suffer and struggle in order.
And I mean,
really
I sit
something.
here and I'm going to places or buying shit constantly to do this. So like I'm sitting here working another job in a sense to do this. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here stressing about it. I stress about my real work. This shit's just a side shit. If I was stressing about that, dude, I would have too much stress and too many issues.
Yeah, that's totally understandable, dude. I
mean, what are you doing for a side hustle?
I mean,
your whole job's technically a side hustle.
Yeah, that's the weird thing is everything I do to make money is a side hustle. Mixing, this podcast ain't making money. Let's be real. I mean, it's got 10 fucking subscribers. It ain't making shit. I do this for fun.
10 of them are 10 of the people that have been interviewed.
Actually, there's actually one random guy who subscribed. I don't think he watches anything because I mean, it'd be hard to sit through this much.
We should post this on Facebook and see who fucking watches it from high school.
I'm actually going to.
Probably not a good idea.
Well, I mean, I don't.
The reason I say that, because I mean, and I mean this nicely. There's so many people we went to high school with that say the stupidest shit on Facebook. I know they're not there in the head.
Well, the thing is, they say stupid shit on Facebook. I say stupid shit in person.
Yeah, but that we know we're just fucking around. These people sit here and post things that are like outrageous or they criticize someone for a belief or something. I'm like, y'all are fucking crazy. You're sitting here married and pregnant already and you're 23 saying this shit and I'm 22 just chilling and I think you look like a dumbass. First off, you're not ready to have a kid. You're not ready to be married.
So when do you think is a good age for it? Because I got a pretty conservative opinion on it.
I think I could get engaged right now with Lauren and be fine. I don't think we should be sitting here married, air quote. I don't think there'd be an issue if we were married because we've been together for a long time and we've kind of grown together. She's definitely matured a lot within this relationship. And I think I've changed a lot because I calmed down, chilled out some,
right.
And I mean, I think we have a good mix together. But at the same time, I think the idea of being with the same person for the rest of my life still somewhat scares me.
I think
not her, just the idea of it is what scares me. That's just a scary thought in general.
I think that thought kind of goes away once you start hitting 30, which I think is an acceptable time to. The reason I say 30 is because 30 years of getting your ass kicked, that's you know who you are.
Yeah.
Well, you're still going to grow, but you know who you are.
I feel like partly I know who I am and who I want to be.
Right. But going back to the whole 30 thing, I feel like, most people are mature by then.
I hope to God.
You've gotten out of your fuck around college phase. You probably fucked up a lot of things that you pursued, or you've been established now in your career. So, in my opinion, and this is me being really conservative and just thinking, just thinking of this from an objective standpoint, I think a good time, no one should be married at below if they're younger than 30. Because there's just so much life that happens.
So what do you think about all the people that from high school that we know that are married?
I don't know. Look, maybe some of them... Look,
name drop.
Some of them...
I was just playing, don't name drop, but talk shit about them.
Okay, so there are some of them who are really good people, and I think their relationship will last. Like, let's talk about Jocelyn and Matthew. I think that has a good chance of lasting because of how long they've been dating and how long I've known them.
I agree.
And then there's some... Well, I'm not speaking like I know how every relation is, but then I see some other people that just came out of the blue, kind of in the sense of they're desperate to get married.
Kind of like we talked about last time.
Yeah, kind of like what we talked about last time. And that's just not going to last.
I think the reason is people are scared they're going to be alone. And I don't know why. There's literally billions of fucking people in this world. You shouldn't be scared to be alone. And I mean, some people do want to just be single the rest of their life.
And when some people are scared of being alone, one, that's stupid because, like you said, there's so many people in this world that meet so many interesting people, so many people with different backgrounds. Especially in the day of internet, you're telling me you can talk to someone on the other side of the world who's a carpenter?
Yeah, but you might be catfished.
Right, you might be, but not even
talking to a dude.
Not even for a relationship, just to talk to someone like
True.
A friend.
Yeah, just talking in general.
Right, and not only that. People should stop being afraid that they're going to be alone for the rest of their life because one, I mean, and maybe my opinion's crazy on this, but I feel like when you're alone, that's when you learn the most about yourself. And that's when you really know who you are, in a sense, because it's just you and your own thoughts. Think of it like meditating in a sense.
Or I don't know, man. I think I would be happy. I know I'd be happy if I was with Lauren for the rest of my life. So I feel like I could get married right now. Do I want to? Not necessarily. Because then that brings in a lot. We merge. Like everything she has is mine. Everything I have is hers. It's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility at that point. And I already have so much fucking responsibility already. Granted, I put a lot more on myself than I have to with all the side shit I do. Like, I'm having to manage taxes on profits. I'm having to, whether I do that or not, I'm having to I'm having to sit here and work 40, 50 hours a week on top of that. I'm sitting here trying to get my MBA. Like all that type of shit. And then on top of that, I have to worry about loving another person, caring about their needs and listening to their issues and their stress, introducing another stress factor in my life, stuff like that. That's what scares me about it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking it slow either. I mean, you still got things you need to do. She's still got things she needs to do.
So and I mean, she still got school. I still got school. There's plenty of time.
There is. I mean, you don't need... I don't think you two are insecure to the point where y'all need the government stamp of approval of marriage.
I don't think so. And I think she wants the wedding more than she necessarily needs a ring.
And
which is a normal thing for a girl.
I mean, there's some girls who they kind of, and this goes back to people who married too early. Maybe this is not true, but I have a sneaking suspicion that they see their friends getting married and they have like these nice weddings and then they feel like, oh, I need a fucking wedding too, or I'm a loser. Mm-hmm. So they compare themselves to others. And going back to, when I say being alone, I don't mean like being alone, sad, and without love. I'm saying, no. I'm saying being alone and independent from the influence of others. That's what I mean.
I mean, that's kind of like the whole fact of you saying school is kind of bullshit because you're forced to learn something. Right. I think a lot of the stuff that has retained in me, whether it's random technology knowledge or how to do something, is stuff that I've sought out myself.
Yeah, I mean, then that's people find more value in that. Not only people from the outside, but I mean, when it's something natural, when you go out and get it yourself, or if you build your own thing, let's say, for example, you restore a car. There's something really satisfying about that versus, going to just buying a new car.
Oh, yeah.
in a bit.
And I mean, like, I personally, like, I'm doing all the work on my sister's house that she just bought yesterday. And, like, I would much rather me do it than her pay someone, because I would rather just go through the experience of learning it and doing it myself, whether I've done it before or not, because then that adds something else that I can do.
Right.
But also, I feel like a big part of me as a person, I'm always trying to find something to make myself more marketable for work life. So, like, this literally is doing that. Like, I know how to install fucking cameras on brick of a house.
Right.
Like, I know how to put up drywall. I like all this stuff that seems real simple, I can do, and I can say I can do that. So in the end of the day, whether it has to do with drywall or not, I'm more of a marketable candidate than someone else is.
Not only marketable, it just gives you a sense of independence, in a sense.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't
real
need to
independence.
sit there and call someone in the middle of the fucking night to fix my sink. Stupid shit like that. Like, I don't understand how stuff like that even fucking exists as long or as well as they do, because, like, why wouldn't you want to do something yourself if you can?
I don't know. I mean, look
I know people are fucking lazy, and that's half of the battle.
I mean, look at Geek Squad. Why do
Yeah.
you think they're still around? I mean, people don't know how computers work.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, that's why Geek Squad probably generates so much fucking money, because they're sitting here, whether it be computer related needs or smart home needs, stuff like that. You have a company that's generating so pretty much pure fucking profit because they're doing almost contracted work.
Yeah, there's I think that's why people think capitalism is evil, because it works off ignorance. But here comes another interesting argument: is do you want everyone to know how you do it and what you do?
No, but you can find out on YouTube. I swear to God.
Exactly. But no, I'm not talking about YouTube right now. I'm talking about the principle of
Like how you run a business, or
how you run a business, or how you make money.
what your strategy is. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Because
That's
it's
why I'm not sitting here and telling you where I buy and sell shit from.
Right. Money.
I'm not gonna fucking tell anybody
To
that.
make money, it's predicated on ignorance
Oh
in
yeah,
some form or another.
it's like restaurants. You look at restaurants with fucking recipes and shit.
Yeah.
They're not gonna sit there and blast out their information.
Right. But not even that. It's just, you think doctors want everyone to know how to be a surgeon?
They should. Imagine that.
Yes, a pure doctor. There's
A
someone
kid
who,
with Tourette's fucking inside you. I'm not saying Tourette's is an issue, but like someone that doesn't have a steady hand,
someone doesn't
shouldn't
have
be cutting you open.
someone who
cutting you
doesn't
open.
have stable motor skills, basically.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that. I'm gonna go on this. I'm a rant right now. We
Go
have
ahead.
a kid that I fucking work with, who he should not work with the company. He has issues, not like legit issues. He just socially he doesn't know how to work with people, and it's not because he's on the spectrum or anything. He just doesn't know how to talk to people. Two, he literally will just go off on a tantrum if something doesn't go his way. And I feel like that's back to people being babied in America. Like, this dude should be fucking fired. Like, he doesn't help our company in any form or fashion other than just being a number. And I don't know if that's me being a shitty person or me looking at it from a standpoint of profits, but like, there's so much more profitability if we were to hire someone else,
right.
because the turnover is going to do nothing to us.
It's an interesting topic, because when it comes to balancing objectivity with your morals, that's where it kind of gets fishy for some people.
If you are, which your mom said, you got to be a good person. I understand that. But morally, if you are in the business of making money, how moral are you really?
I always like to make this argument, especially for people who argue against capitalism. Everyone's trying to make money. Are you kidding me?
But that's the thing.
Everyone is.
Why is it wrong to fire someone that sucks at their job if your business is based around making money? And personally, I don't think there's an issue with firing. I would fucking do it. But they say, oh no, you have to have a real reason, or they have to do something to cause you to fire them. Like, it makes no sense to me why you're putting stipulations on what I can and can't do to make my business more profitable.
Right. But then people always like to argue. Well, and then the argument comes in is, it's capitalism is not very compassionate in a sense, which I don't think it should be. I think there should be some level of compassion. But at the end of the day, compassion, here's my definition of compassion in capitalism. Compassion comes from, one, the money you make to make your company grow. And then you can get more jobs. In that sense, that's compassion. Now, how you get there, that's another question.
I mean, like, that's just, I don't know, man. Like, if I was to be the head of a company, the reason I do side hustles, I like achieving shit, but also I just want money. I want more and more money. And I'm so money oriented. Like, I don't think about other shit. So morally and ethically, I probably am not the best person. But I'm not sitting here being a scumbag to make money. I just care more about money than sitting at home talking to my friends. I enjoy that, yes. But if I can be out making money, I want to.
Nothing's wrong with that.
And I know people say you should love your job, but majority of the people that love their jobs is because they're getting paid well. Partly.
Right. What was I going to say? At what point do you think that enough is enough?
Money?
Money-wise.
I mean, I'm not saying I live off of money, but you need money to live.
Right.
And you need to have comfort in money, because if you don't have security. I mean, it's like, how can you, and I mean, I'm not saying you have to have materialistic items. No, I'm not saying that's necessary in life, but say your house burns down or something breaks down. If you don't have the money to fix it, that's going to cause stress in your life.
Correct.
You can't go out and do what you need to do, stuff like that. So that's why I feel like I strive to just continue making money more than doing anything else, because I want security.
I think what I'm after is the same thing as you are, but I define it a little differently.
I'm just very blunt with it and being
I'm pretty
100% honest.
I'm pretty blunt
money's
too.
money.
I'm after.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm after living a very simple, comfortable lifestyle. That's what I'm after.
And I mean, like, I
see money as a tool.
I think it's pointless for people that go out and you just spend money to, whether it be like travel every fucking month or go to amusement parks or go out to that's one thing I fucking hate. Like, if you have the means to make your own food and do that at home, or have the time, if you don't have time, I understand that. Why go and spend $50 on a meal when you could spend $5 at home?
Or go get something at the dollar menu.
Exactly.
That's what I did.
Like, why spend 50 versus 5? And I don't know if that's me being money hungry or just being stingy with money. I don't want to do that.
No, it's called successful people habits. Being frugal. That's another thing. That's how you get rich.
And then my mom says it. She's like, you would choose money over someone. And I was like, probably.
Interesting. I probably would too, but I'm probably not as violent or upfront as you are about it. I'm a little more subtle about it.
Like, my purpose with work, one, is to make money. And I do enjoy and love what I do right now, but there's other things I want to do. And part of it is working with certain things because I would enjoy working with it. But the other part is I know it makes a lot of money.
So what do you think about people when they say, what do you think about the saying, follow your dreams, money will follow?
That's not true.
Is it though?
Money's not going to follow. Unless you mean fucking $5. Like, I hate to say this, back to liberal degrees, like people that get history degrees or that want to do certain things that they know aren't reasonable things, that is, and that just are unemployed. You're doing you're following your dreams, but where's the money at?
The beautiful thing about today, in this day and age, because of how smart people are stupid, but we are smarter than we were 16 years ago.
Oh yeah,
not 16. In the 1600s, we were smarter than that. I mean, our life expectancy has gone up from 37 to roughly 90, 100. We don't die of dysentery anymore. So
I hope not. If you fucking do, something's wrong with you.
So, I mean, this is something I try to tell people all the time. It's when you should separate what you do to make money versus what you really want to do for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because money is a tool to a means of what you want to do. I mean, some of the best musicians I know they work at a hospital doing either data entry or they were working on like the systems or whatever, or they're even nurses. I mean, some of the best artists I know. So going back to liberal arts. To be an artist, that's a life, and I know I'm getting all hippie. That's a lifetime. That's a lifetime of you learning something.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, unless you're a fucking prodigy or genius, who's going to take your art seriously at 23, 24, 25, 26? There's a story about this one artist, I forgot. I'm going to say Michelangelo maybe, or maybe another artist. So the story is a really good story of explaining what I'm trying to explain. So one day, this artist, he just sits down at a cafe and he just scribbles something on a napkin, just like draw something, sketch. And then someone passes by, recognizes who the artist is, and was like, wow, you're really famous. Can I buy that off of you, please? And the artist just says, okay, $30,000. And the guy who passes by just says, why are you charging me $30,000 for something that took you barely 5 minutes? And what the artist said was, no. Okay, we're back. So, but to go back off what I was saying is the guy who wanted to buy the little sketch that the artist made said,
yeah,
why are you charging me $30,000 for something that you made in 5 minutes? And the artist just responds and says, no, it took me 40 years to get to a point where I can draw this in 5 minutes. And that's why I'm charging you $30,000. And that story just made so much sense to me because that's what it is at the end of the day. That's what art is. It's just a series of experiences in life kicking you in the ass and you learning. And that's how you grow. Not only as a person, but as an artist. And to me, that's truly what art is. That makes sense.
But no one appreciates art that way. There are people that do. Obviously there are. But majority of people look at art, for instance, and then they're like, oh, that's probably like $10, $15.
Right. Because I mean, I don't think when it comes to art, for example, I don't think you should be looking outwards I don't think you should be looking for the acceptance of other people.
A lot of people, I don't know, man.
And this is probably where you and I really differ. It's you might be the same as me. I mean, you know me, and you're probably like me in the same level as we don't really give a shit of what people think about me. Like,
No.
I could give less than 2 fucks about what someone thinks about me. And when it comes to art, let's say a painting or like a writer, I mean, you shouldn't be looking at other people to you shouldn't be looking to validate your own work.
Oh yeah.
Because that's your own work. That's your own life.
But that's how the fucking world is.
Exactly.
Look at social media. You need someone to validate that you look good in an outfit or you did this or this and you want someone to compliment on you. It's like, why are we seeking validation to justify what we're doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't sit here and post the fucking profit I make on Snapchat. I'm not sitting here like, look at this pay stub. Like, I'm doing it because I want to do it.
Exactly. That goes back to the whole education rant we were on.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle, man.
You have to want to do what you're doing at the same time, or you're just gonna be miserable. I want to make money, so I'm doing whatever I can to make money, and I'm not miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I it sucks sometimes, but I still love what I do.
Validation comes from within, and that's a real source of happiness, in my opinion.
I agree.
It should come from within.
But I mean, like,
because you're never gonna find it anywhere else.
it's like you're saying with the whole artist story about the 40,000 hours of work. Like, I feel like people don't understand that you have to work hard to get places.
It's not only just working hard; it's how much time it takes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, putting in time, putting in effort, and when I say putting in time, like, you're utilizing your time well. You're not just fucking putting in time. You know what I mean? Like you're
Right.
going and doing something to better yourself or improve something. Just it's you can work hard, but you can also not be doing anything for it at the same time.
It's all about how you use your time. Like Tony, when he was working at it, oh, you bet your ass that was focused.
Yeah.
He was telling me about how it took him 2 weeks to fix just one line of code that was fucking up his entire calculator.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, ultimately, I would love to just run my own business. Not sure what in, what for, or what the purpose would be. I would rather be the type of CEO or founder, but also still be working my ass off, not just have people running it for me. Because then I would feel no pleasure from the company. It would just be a source of income.
I think Buddhism goes into that a little bit in terms of people needing to struggle or fight for something.
Mean, you look at companies that excel really well, their CEOs are working their ass off still.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jeff Bezos, where the fuck?
Jeff Bezos.
Amazon CEO. I'm sure he's sitting there grinding. Like he's doing stuff to, whether it be sitting in on meetings or even conference calls and giving his ideas. I'm sure he doesn't do a lot, but he's still working to better the company.
Right.
And I mean, that's why the company excels. They're growing. He's growing. I mean, it's like, if you're not willing to work once you get to that level, I feel like there can be a lot of possibility to just crash.
Of course there is. Especially if you don't adjust your lifestyle. Like if you're living like a king, but you ain't working like one.
Yeah, but I mean, that's people. That's the issue. People expect to live luxuriously, but not do anything to do that. That's why I think it's stupid that there's people on Instagram, influencers, that are getting paid to post a fucking Pepsi ad, and they're making $100,000 off of it just because they have 1 million followers.
You know what the funny thing is?
It makes no sense to me how this is a thing.
It made me think about something. For these influencers or people who base their career off a platform as fragile as Instagram, I always think about, would these people still have jobs? Or would these people still be making enough money if, let's say, Instagram or Facebook went away? Just bam.
They wouldn't.
Yeah, that's just something I think about all the time.
And I mean, that's why I think it's crazy that someone out there said, "Hey, let me pay this guy to fucking post a picture." Like, it's smart for the companies that are doing that because they're getting their product out to billions or millions of people, that is, based off of this influencer. But it's like, why are you paying them that when it doesn't make sense how that even started to me? Like, it makes no sense to me. I think it's smart, but it makes no sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either, but I mean, you see how integrated social media is and how integrated phones are of people's lives.
Everyone's always scrolling their social media.
Right. I mean,
and that's those people that expect everything to be given to them.
So instead of, them paying to put a sign up on a billboard no one's going to pay attention to, why not just put the advertisement in your hand?
Just put it in their hand, though. Don't fucking pay someone to post it. Just pay for a slot on that app. Well, you look at all those stupid ass game apps that we play, and that they make so much money off of an ad being at the very bottom of the screen constantly.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's, sometimes when people scroll through scroll through their feed and they see an advertisement, they don't pay attention to as much as when an advertisement is placed into someone or an entity that they pay attention to. So that's probably why they do that. That's probably why companies spend that much money on it.
I think if you're really dedicated to making something of yourself, you could care less about social media.
True.
Like, I feel like me, you, Austin, all of us that are doing something, like, for instance, I deleted Instagram, and I feel like I just freed up so much of my lifetime just because of that. Yeah,
because now you feel, probably after deleting Instagram, you feel less like the world is looking at you, and the only one who's looking at you.
Well, see,
is
that
yourself.
was the thing. I don't think I gave a shit to post or cared what people liked my picture or not. I just did it because everyone else fucking did it, and that's the issue with it.
Oh, so people just go with the flow,
people
not really thinking
exactly
about it?
like everyone that people that are fucking doing hair. Let me put it this way: people that do heroin.
Oh god.
They don't just do heroin because they just were like, oh, let me fucking try it. It's because someone else was doing it. and they influence them to do it.
Whoa, hold up. So, like a product of their environment, basically.
Yes. That's why everyone wants to be a fucking gym model, or everyone wants to be a social media influencer. Not because they want to, because everyone else is doing it. That's why people are fucking making YouTube videos, not for the purpose of their enjoyment, but to try and be like everyone else. Like, I feel like the purpose of this podcast is just the enjoyment of having a conversation with your friend.
Or just the enjoyment.
You're not sitting here trying to monetize this podcast at all.
It will never get monetized.
There's controversy in it. It would never get monetized.
There's 15 episodes of me saying shit that I'm surprised people are still friends with me. you know?
I want to clear up the works just in case Lauren ever finds this. Yes, Lauren, I want to marry you. The conversation about not getting married just has to do with, I feel like we're too young.
Let
me just clear that up.
I think she'll understand that.
She won't.
She won't? Oh, she's still in that phase?
I think any girl wouldn't understand that.
Well, I talked to a couple girls who do understand it.
Maybe mature ones.
Which is very rare to find. And I do. Well.
See, I just want you and Austin to start dating people so I can enjoy what y'all get to enjoy listening from me. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many stories and so much drama that I tell you guys that, like, I feel like y'all thoroughly enjoy. I want to enjoy that. Yo, like, I'm waiting for that.
Yo, I'm pretty stupid. Like, I went on this date and I didn't know this girl was giving me signals. You meet her on Tinder? No. It's like someone I knew for a bit. So I went on this date and, like, we hung out at her place and I didn't realize she was giving me signs. So she was like
she's trying to make a move.
Yeah, and I was like, I was just sitting there. I was sitting there like she was like, "Oh, come sit on the couch." I'm like, "Okay." I just sit there. We watch TV for like 4 hours. And I'm like, "Yeah,
that's it."
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go take a shower," and then she comes out like bare, like in this towel. I'm like, "Cool. Well, I guess I'm gonna go home now. See you later."
Oh my god!
I'm just so fucking stupid when it comes to it.
See, that's what I need in my life.
That's one of my
like this.
I guess when it comes to me, one of my weaknesses is probably understanding how other people feel. Ironically,
you just got to go with it, man.
I didn't go with it.
That's the biggest part. Don't even. I'm not okay. So this is not saying just advance on someone because that's probably sounds rapey. But like just go for it. You know what I mean? Like whether or not you see a sign. You're going to get rejected or you're not.
Yeah, just make it black and white that. But to me, what was going through my mind was like, oh, she's got to go to work tomorrow, and she's about to go to bed, so I need to get the fuck out of here. I was being too polite, man.
Who comes out in a towel, and your reaction is, oh, I should go. They need to go to bed.
Well, that's me. That's what makes me, I guess, man.
Next time on, you don't think that.
I don't know if there is a next time, man.
How long ago did y'all hang out?
Like, this was 5 months ago. So this ain't shit anymore.
Oh, my God. You need to, see what you need to do? You need to text that person. You need to just be like, hey, were you making moves on me so I know where I don't know?
Yo, 5 months later, that's like...
just in the middle of the night, be like, hey, you up? Send that you up text. Be that person.
No, that's so fucking cheesy, man.
Once you see those 3 bubbles, you just go for it.
That's so fucking cheesy, man.
I need to know for the purpose of my love life, were you making a move on me?
Yo, so why go with that? Why go with the generic, hey, yo, or hey, what's up? Why not just go ahead and go, hey, what's the name of your first pet? What's your maiden mother's name?
Because that shit's boring.
Asking about their credit card security questions is boring? Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, speaking of that, every time you do anything, like they ask you those bullshit questions, if I was to ever do any of those recovery questions, it's like, did I type it with a fucking capital? Did I do a space between this? Like, how am I supposed to get my password back? Like, that's never happening. That's the dumbest shit ever. But I mean, I think that's truly how people should be. Yes, ask questions like that and get to know someone. But like, most people don't do that. You sit here, wake up 1 a.m. and you have a text saying you up. You're gonna be like, oh, let me respond because they're trying to smash, or like they like me. They're not sitting here asking me what's my favorite fucking color.
So you're saying it's better to be more concise.
Scrap the game plan on is what I'm saying.
It's better to be concise, basically.
Just be what everyone else is being. That goes back to everyone doing what everyone else does on social media.
I don't know, man. I guess my way of thinking is outdated. The way I think is,
What Which is
It's an idealistic. The way I think it's an idealistic development.
you
Slow
are a
burn
normal
game.
person. Is
I
what I
hope
would
so.
say.
I hope so.
Everyone else is not normal. They sit here and slide in a DM with a picture, and next thing you know it, they're banging someone. It's like that's not normal. That shouldn't be normal.
I mean, I'm glad it's not normal because to me that just seems so.
Well,
I mean,
no, it
out
is
of
normal.
place.
That's what I'm saying, and it shouldn't be. Like that's not the person that should be the ideal person.
Yeah,
But people idolize those people. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, he's a savage. That's awesome. You know, and that's not how it should be.
because my concern is like, hey, this guy. First of all, this guy said the girl. I'm speaking from the perspective of said interest girl or whatever. Let's just come up with a scenario.
Is this someone I know?
No.
Oh,
I'm just coming up with a
shit.
bullshit scenario.
No, I mean like the person
So,
that story happened with.
I guess what I'm saying is, what if someone look if a girl made an advance on me and sent me like some nudes or whatever? First thing I'd be thinking is like, okay,
She's a whore.
what the fuck? Like, one, what the fuck, and two is, do I trust this person to raise a kid? This is the shit that goes through my mind.
See, people don't use relationships that way. They
Well-
don't. A relationship should be, I'm getting in this relationship because I see potential of marriage and lifetime with you.
And the third thing is, if this was, look, I am not a charming person at all. I am fucking terrible at talking with women. So if you're already sending pictures to me, oh, that's a bad sign, my G. You know what I mean? I just started thinking about it.
Do you say that's a bad sign, my G? Do you call them my G when you talk to girls?
No, I don't. These things I
You
say to
should.
myself.
Because that's the thing. You're funny on, and you should be that way with girls.
I think I say a lot of things that scare people away,
Like
though.
with me, I'm very blunt and open with Lauren. I speak to her like I speak to you,
That's good.
and that's how it should be.
That's-
Like we don't respect each other, me and you. I mean, we do, but the way we talk to each other, you know what I mean? Like we'll talk shit and at each other, but like that part I don't do. But like the way I'm open or very blunt, and like I mean, a lot of us like use expressive language, and by that I mean we cuss a lot. I'm that way with her, and that's how you should be with who you want to be with. You shouldn't filter yourself like everyone does, because at the end of the day, once you unfilter, they're not going to know who you are.
So what you're
They're going to
saying?
expect the old filtered you, and you're not filtered anymore.
I get what you're saying. It's
see what
kind
I'm
of
saying?
like go ahead and pay off your loans and your debts right now. Don't wait for it to build up interest later.
Be the funny, stupid person you are now,
Yeah, man.
because
course.
I guarantee that's what someone would find attractive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I know what you mean.
That's what's. Honest, you gotta tell me though. Was that person in that story someone I know?
No, it's
Damn
no
it.
one you knew. Don't worry.
I
You think-
gotta know her.
You think I want to know people that you knew, man? Let's be real. Let's be real, homie.
I mean, that's just like, I'm trying to think of someone, for instance, from high school that I could think of that's just completely opposite of what we expected. There's
Basically-
probably a lot of people I could think
Basically,
of.
everyone, every religious person.
I mean,
Isn't
it's
there
just like you look at us. We probably, if someone met us today versus knowing us in high school, I feel like we're all different.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, probably in a really good way.
People do change.
Because all of us are more open and more social now. Like
Yeah.
all of us just fucking hung out with us, and that was pretty much it. I felt like
Yeah.
I was a turtle in high school, and it was fully because of my mom. Like I'm exactly like her. I didn't like going out. I like staying at home playing fucking Xbox, and that was it.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
But people find something wrong with that.
Why?
I don't. It's just society's like, oh, you're not normal because you're not out partying and drinking at the age of 16.
It was like, one,
Well, guess what? I'm fucking partying and drinking while playing Xbox.
it was
So
like, another
guess
thing
what?
is,
We're the same person.
well, another thing is like, one, my parents would castrate me if I did that shit.
True.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, I agree.
I was like, look, you guys look like you had a fun time. It's great, but I'd like to keep my balls.
But
and
would
I'd
you
li-
have enjoyed that?
Probably not.
Exactly.
Yo,
and
dude.
I don't think I would have either.
Yo, dude. So when I
I
was
don't
in,
even enjoy that now.
when I was in New York, man, there was like I was around that crowd a lot who loved partying. I fucking hated it. Like I loved the clients that came in just to work, and it was like real professional because they were interesting to talk to too, and they were there for one reason. But the side people that came in just to have a good time, I just found them boring. They're not interesting to talk to. They don't have anything interesting of value to offer to me, at least.
I think that's why all of us are friends, though. We're all very similar in that aspect socially. Like, none of us sit here and go out and just are the social butterfly. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we're all, in a sense, very closed off to what we want to do. And I think that's why we all mesh real well.
Yeah, man. I feel like a great life to live was. I always keep thinking about this lately. If I were just to become a monk out of nowhere, just live up in the mountains in isolation, I might be content with that.
See, that's the thing. I could live by myself the rest of my life, not talk to anybody, and I think I'd be fine.
There's some people that do get a little crazy. I understand that. You do need human interaction to survive.
But do you?
I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends on what your objectives are in life.
I think we do based off of we've been used to it our whole life, not necessarily that we need it. And so it's not normal. So like if I was to not see someone for like a month, it would just get weird. Cuz I expect to see someone.
Like a friend?
No, just anyone. Even if I don't talk to them.
So clarify on that. What do you mean?
Like the idea of you going crazy without human interaction. Why? It's because we sit here and we have human interactions daily. If you grew up having zero interaction with anyone, you wouldn't necessarily need that interaction.
Oh, so it's basically a conditioning question.
Like you've been conditioned to have human interactions daily, multiple interactions with multiple different people. So when you don't, it's just weird. You feel like you're going crazy, and so you need it. But truly, do you? No, I don't think so. Like, I feel like if I grew up, which I grew up in a sense where I literally was just around my mom a lot and I didn't go out. I literally did nothing but talk to my friends on Xbox or PlayStation.
Right.
And I could be content doing that and not actually physically seeing someone. But at the same time, I'd go home after school, go upstairs and play, and someone wasn't on, and I wouldn't talk to people, so I'd still play. Didn't have any human interaction, and I was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, to test this, you'd have to go in the forest by yourself for a fucking month.
Yeah, that is a true test. But
there's shows like that.
Yeah, they are. Naked and Afraid. I think if more people were comfortable with just them being by themselves, they'd be a little bit happier. Or they found something that relieved stress that wasn't external alcohol.
I don't know if you said this earlier. I think truly to grow as a person, you have to do that by yourself.
Yeah. I didn't say that earlier, but that's a very good point, and I totally agree with that.
Like, you can't, like, and I mean fully, like, you can't be sitting here on social media idolizing people. Like, you have to sit there and become who you are because that's who you feel like you should be.
I feel like... Actually, I got to pee before I talk about this. I'll be right back. Hang on, guys. Sorry.
We're pausing, guys.
All right, back from my pee break. So, talking about achieving things on your own, and true growth is achieved through overcoming these obstacles by yourself. I think that's a good reason why, one, either you go hiking a lot, or you go to the gym, or you work on something you're interested in by yourself.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. I mean, I think, like, you look at people that go to the gym. In a sense, if you think about anyone who goes to the gym, there's a reason they're going to the gym. And it's in a sense they're self-absorbed, not absorbed in the way you expect me to mean that. Like, I don't mean like you sit here and idolize yourself, but you go to do something, whether it be to slim down. And so in a sense, you're obsessing over yourself because you go to the gym. And I had this conversation with someone. They made me think, like, why do I go to the gym? I go to the gym because I want to look better. And at the end of the day, it's because I want to look better for myself, not for anyone else ultimately.
But there's good effects too.
There's people go for health reasons, but at the same time, you're doing it for yourself, so you're more self-concerned. You don't just go to the gym for other people.
Well, it also has to do with, it's something you do to kind of relieve stress. because you're working hard at the gym. You're working hard.
But don't you feel like
it
there's
fixes your mind too?
Don't you feel like there's a certain body part that you like, that how it looks based off working out?
I never thought of it like that.
But now that you are, do you feel like there's a part of you that you could point out that you're like, oh, I like how this looks solely because I work out?
No.
I guarantee if I asked 99% of people in the gym, they would have a body part or a muscle group that they could pick out that they like because they work out.
That's weird. I don't think of it that way. What I do enjoy at the gym, though, is heavy bag workouts like boxing. I don't think about what body parts look at. I guess
when I say gym nuts, I mean people that are sitting here like constantly only go to the gym for weights. I wouldn't say like runners or cardio like that, like boxing.
So
like you go into the gym, you see a girl in there working out. They're working out because they want their butt to look better.
I think there's a difference between like bodybuilders and powerlifters, because they're powerlifters because necessarily they're powerlifting.
They're just trying to do as much weight as possible.
Right. Their goal is I'm gonna do this motion with as much weight as possible. I don't care if I look like a fucking oblong cyclops. The goal is in mind. So I don't.
True.
When I go to the gym, I don't think of it in that sense, because I'm thinking of a certain goal in mind that I want to achieve. I'm not thinking of because one, I already feel better, and health wise, like it's had benefits to me health wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care about looks. Yeah, it's nice, but I feel good, and when I feel good, that makes me feel better.
I think that's me just being more self-absorbed.
No,
because I am.
Nothing's wrong with that.
I'll say I am.
Yo, everyone's self-absorbed to a certain level. Right
on the topic list. You had a topic of the idea of what you see in someone that would like explain excess or success. Do you remember that?
I see it on the list right here.
So like, what's it say exactly? Read it out. I'll pull it up.
Let me see.
What's this say? What, in your opinion, is an indicator of who's going to succeed at an extremely high level? I think part of that is someone that is very self-motivated to the point where they're almost obsessed with being something or doing something. You know what I mean? Like they're constantly talking about this topic or they're doing something to better themselves at that.
But like, is that self-absorption or is that goal-oriented?
I don't know, man.
I think it's more goal-oriented.
I think people would look at me, even based on what I say in this podcast, and be like, oh, TJ's really self-absorbed. Guess what? I don't give a fuck if you're thinking that right now.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm sitting here, but I mean, I feel like I look at someone that I think is going to indicate in my brain that they are going to be very successful as someone that is motivated to the point of obsession.
Because that's what I mean.
Whether their idea is dumb as shit, they're going to keep fucking working on it till they perfect it.
Right. That's a goal. That's a goal oriented though. That's not necessarily self-absorption. That's obsession with a goal you have in mind.
I don't know. I mean, I think you can view it as self-absorption, like, because you look at people, and I mean, most people think of that by meaning, oh, you sit here and look at yourself all day. But at the same sense, that person is looking at themselves all day. They're going to the gym, working out 5 times a week. They're very goal-oriented.
That's interesting.
So is being self-absorbed a thing?
I don't know. Because, I mean, it's human nature. We're all selfish at the end of the day. We're self-interested and we want to do what's best for ourselves.
Oh, yeah,
ourselves
for sure.
is the first priority.
I completely agree with that. I am, for sure.
Right. Even the most charitable, kind people in the world, they gotta help themselves first before they help others. So they have to be selfish in a sense. So I really don't know. I think when you're trying to say, are people self-absorbed when they're obsessing over a goal, are you saying they're self-absorbed in their own thoughts?
I don't know, man. I think the idea is to me, like, you are so obsessed with doing something. I guess you're not self-absorbed. It's just you feel like you would be, or you have to be in a sense. But what I mean by that is, like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I think you should be.
So there's a bit of a there's also a bit of a danger of singularly, basically just honing in on that one craft,
I
whatever
say
that
hone
is.
in on one specific thing,
But let's talk about
one goal.
But in Asian culture, Japanese culture in specific, that's very, I don't know, a great way to say this, but that's their mantra basically. It's find one thing you're good at and just go balls in. And I respect that because those who do it in Japan, like their work ethic is insane. The level they do their craft is amazing. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, at what cost? Because Japanese people, I mean, it's very common for people to die from overworking in Japan. I mean, there's even a law saying, there's even a law requiring that companies and the government compensate the family when a relative dies from overworking, because overworking is actual diagnostics.
What does it take to die from working too much?
What does it take?
Like how can you work yourself to death? Unless you're like 70s and 80s, I could see that. But it's just like how?
It has to do
physically.
It has to do with their mental state too, because it's not only them physically, they're doing these crazy 16-hour day jobs, but they're absorbed in it. That's their singular focus. So it makes them a little crazy in a sense.
I guess so, man. I think, and I mean, kind of back to what I would say is an indicator of you're talking about work ethic. Definitely work ethic. You have to be motivated, not just work hard. Like you have to want to do what you're doing, or else you're not going to be successful in it. Unless you just bullshit your way through life.
Right. My question now is the cost worth it? Because a lot of Japanese people, they display these properties, but the end goal, the means to get there, isn't exactly so pleasant.
I mean, maybe their lifetime goal is just to work as hard as possible till they die. So they die when they work. They completed their goal.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe
that is what their life is meant to them.
Or maybe
like the culture of it, they just expect that.
Maybe they're happy in a sense that they died on the journey to get to where they want to go. Because some people don't want to reach the destination of what they want to do. This sounds really hippie-ish.
That's why would you not want to reach your destination? Though?
Because you find so much joy in the work.
Yes, but then that's the idea of goals. You reach a goal and then you make a new goal.
Well, some people don't operate like that.
Why not?
Because that's their singular. That's like, what they want to do, really.
Don't you have a goal on?
Yeah, of course. I got plenty of goals.
Exactly. And you reach one, you go for another one.
Exactly.
I feel like, well, then exactly. Then if you don't have goals and you don't want to reach your goals, I don't think you'll be successful ever.
I don't know.
You might bullshit your way into success based off luck, pure luck, because that can happen.
Right. I don't know. I guess I'm thinking from a different culture. It has to do with culturally how people, because like the American way of thinking is way different from how people think on the other side of the world.
I mean, obviously, that's for sure.
That's for sure. So I don't know. Maybe I'm asking. The definition of success is super weird too. It's definitely not black and white.
I think success is determined by what you value it to be.
Right.
Success could be simply doing one thing and completing it correctly, or it could be living in a mansion with 10, 15 cars. I mean, it depends on who you are.
I mean, have you seen documentaries about sushi chefs?
No, not at all.
No, let me tell you what
are there things like that on?
Yeah, it's fucking like to be a good sushi, like at a 5-star sushi restaurant where you gotta
like
pay
Mizu and Alabaster.
No.
Hey, they make decent sushi.
No, but I'm talking about these, like the top Michelin star chefs. Some of these people, like some of these sushi chefs, even in their 50s, haven't even started putting the sushi together yet. Does that sound crazy? Because as apprentices, some of them will even start they won't even get to touch the rice for the first 5 years.
That's crazy.
That is, but there's something amazing in that. How there's actually people who are capable in this world of just going that balls deep in and just being so absorbed in that goal. I don't know.
Those are people that'll be successful.
Yeah, and they will. But I don't know what I was trying to say. The definition is
but see,
clearly
that's the
completely
thing.
different.
There's people that are patient with growth. There's people that aren't. I'm the type of person that I want to grow and I want to move up within work, within life, as quickly and as fast as possible. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I find there's a danger in putting a timeline on.
I'm not saying I have a timeline by
Right.
any means, because that just creates stress. You're
Right.
not, because once it doesn't happen, because it's not going to in the timeline you set for yourself, most of the time that is, you're gonna find disappointment, and then you're gonna start being, I guess, hateful towards what you're doing.
Exactly. That sort of happened to me a little bit when I was first starting doing this stuff. But I'm not going to go into that.
You can't expect the outcome you set for yourself to happen immediately, because it's not going to.
Right. I mean, growth is constant, but growth is also extremely unpredictable. And there are ways you can change the tempo or the rate of your growth, but
Man, it's all connections. That's how this world runs.
it is. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think there is. If you're not trying to make connections, you're dumb.
Some people think there's something wrong with that because some people think it's like, oh, because your parents are rich, they know other rich people.
I don't mean like that. I mean connections like, okay, that is a connection. I mean like, you sit here and you do the right things you should, and you prove to someone higher up that you have work ethic, that you should be higher up yourself. That becomes a connection. Because then they start looking out for you. They start mentoring you. Like connections like that. Getting in with people that have done the work and are in very successful positions, and shadowing them, using them as a mentor. If you don't have a mentor in something, you're probably not going to do very well unless you just fumble your way around for a really, really long time.
And luck does have a little bit to do with success. It's a little bit ugly, but luck does have a little bit to do with it. Because
I agree. Because timing can either bite you in the ass or be really good for you.
Yeah, man, exactly. So on the talk about success, I mean, do you think everyone is meant to win?
No, but I don't think everyone's goal is to, which is crazy to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either. But that's
like you think about people that go to a place to be a Walmart bagger. Let me just make that as the idea and just the example. There's a lot of those people that don't care to move up, and that's why they don't succeed. But in their mind, they're happy, I hope, because that'd be fucking awful for the rest of my life.
Right.
But there's people that get enjoyment from that.
Wouldn't that be a form of victory for them then?
It is for them, but I guess back to what we were saying, success is how you define it, not how someone else does.
That's true. And then
Plus, in their mind, they're successful because they're living a happy life. Because I mean, there's plenty of people I know that would love their work, whether or not they're making $5 an hour or $50.
And there's also, now I'm getting more pessimistic and cynical. There are industries that do require not everyone to succeed, like debt, for example, loans.
Like when you say companies, you mean people that give out loans?
Right. Entities, basically.
They thrive off of other people failing because they like credit card companies that drive 26% interest rates. They drive off of people failing, and they say that that's not why they run, but that's why they run, because they make so much money off of people like you.
Exactly.
And I mean, debt. It's a thing. There's companies like you're saying that thrive off of the failures of other people.
But is that bad in a sense?
Morally, maybe. But is it smart? Yes. For that company, by far.
Oh, yeah, there's my mom. I don't know what she's asking me.
Do you want to pause it?
Oh, hang on a second. This has to do with the Airbnb. Whoops. There you go.
Side hustle right there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just something I've been thinking about a lot because in one of the classes, one of my last bullshit classes I got to take, people always talking about, The only thing you're really guaranteed is the pursuit of happiness or the pursuit of success. You're not guaranteed. And I just think, what's wrong with that?
I mean, you shouldn't be guaranteed anything in life.
The pursuit will happen forever. And I just think, why are people so, well, I guess in this one class, why are people so adverse to the idea of the guarantee of a pursuit towards something? I mean, maybe I'm just wired different from them. What else?
I mean, you look at it like this. You think about how much time we spend sleeping, eating, just
masturbating.
Unnecessary things. Yeah. I mean, sleep is necessary, eating's necessary, but we sit here and waste so much time in a day. It's like there's so much time that could be way better spent. And I think people that realize that are the people that are doing well in life because they're taking the time to take that extra 10 minutes they have and learn something or go out and do something to better themselves. And so that's the pursuit of success that they're actually finding success because of. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You look at like how much wasted time there is in any given day for one person, that if they spent that time wisely, like for instance, let's say someone that's broke, they have 5-6 extra hours a day of free time. Why aren't they out hustling? Why aren't they out trying to better their lives?
I think the argument is sometimes they don't have access or they don't know where to start, which I do understand because the environment they do grow up in sometimes is pretty shit. But now we have an amazing resource called the internet.
But even if you didn't have the internet, logically in by nature, you should sit here and know and understand that if you want something, you have to do something.
Yeah. I mean, we both know that for sure. But
I don't get why other people don't know that.
I think they're creatures of habit. It might have to do with it. We don't like to change. We don't like change in general. When it comes to change, we're really resistant about it. Whether it comes to politics or habits, we're really resistant to change. Yeah. I was when I first started going to the gym like 8 months ago, like getting back in a normal powerlifting routine. Mm-hmm. I had all the fucking free time in the world. But the hardest part about the gym was me deciding to drive to the gym.
To go to it, yeah.
That's the hardest part. Once you're there, it's this is cake. But
I think if people realized how much power they have over their lives and their livelihood and just their well-being, like you have so much control of that. And I don't think people realize that because they're not going out and taking advantage of that.
I don't think people, well, in particular, some Americans don't realize how well they have it here compared to other places.
Of course. You have other countries, third world countries, that struggle for food still, that don't have technology like we do.
Right. And
don't have fucking running water.
Not to mention, starvation is not an issue in this country. People forget that. There's poverty, but the funny thing is,
people take everything here for granted, though.
Right. Here's something funny you're going to find. There's a statistic saying that people who are in poverty are obese, or a large majority of people in poverty are also obese for some reason, which I find that kind of interesting in a way, where poverty is a big issue here in this country, but starvation is not, no matter how low you are. Don't you find that kind of interesting? Weird?
I mean, people say they're starving when they don't eat for 5 hours. But they're not. I think the word starving is thrown around. And like you're saying, I don't think anyone in America could be or ever be starving. There's a source of food, water, pretty much everywhere you go. You look at countries, I can't think of one off the top of my head without sounding like a dumbass, but like a third world country that they have to walk miles just to get fucking water. Yeah. And then go and filter it some way and how. And they spent half their day just getting water. Yeah. Just to live.
Yeah, I don't get the pessimism people have with America, man. I don't get it. Mainly it's because I'm probably just around too many college kids, and that's why.
I think we are around a bunch of dumbasses is the thing, and that's how we know that. And so it just...
So what do you think would fix this?
People, I don't know, man. there's a lot of things it would take to fix the way people are wired now. I think that's the good thing about us. We aren't wired that way, but everyone else has been programmed to be wired that way.
So
and it's causing thousands and thousands of issues.
I'm going to go off the deep end here, and this probably be really controversial, but
we haven't been controversial yet. Let's go controversial.
So I had this interesting conversation with someone, older fella, and this has to do with something about conflict or a greater goal does something to the human mind and the nature. So in order for us to get off this road we're going into basically a weaker society in a sense, maybe more compassionate, but a weaker society, there would be another great conflict, like another world war.
Like when Austin said we need to go to war with India.
So would you do that in a sense?
Like
let's say you're playing God.
Make people struggle so that they realize that they're not really struggling.
But it has to be an actual struggle.
Is that what you're saying though? Like
right.
Make someone really starving so they know that they're not really starving.
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
I think everyone is so pampered is why
I'm pampered. Yeah.
But you don't act that way.
But I know I'm pampered.
But there's the people that are pampered and that say, "Oh, you're not giving me this or that." There's an issue with that. Those are the people that should be put in their place. And if you're saying a world war would do that, I mean, I'm not saying I disagree, because I think it would. Because you sit here and drop a bomb on our country, and you have people dealing with radioactive just territories or areas that they can't go in, or they've lost a family member, or they can't eat the food or drink the water, and they actually realized what struggling is like. I think that would turn the way people think completely around. But at the same time, it would go right back to how it was before.
It's a cycle. I believe it's a cycle in a sense.
Like the Great Depression.
Yep.
When stocks crashed, real estate dropped, everything like that. You look at how people truly struggled. But then you think about the flip side 10, 20 years later, no one thinks about it. No one acts like they struggled.
This was especially true after World War II, because there was a World War II generation, and then there was the baby boomers. The World War II generation, as you probably already knew, that was a hard generation for the world. But in America's sense, then came the baby boomers, who lived in a really good time. So I guess it started from there, but I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
Because we live in the best time right now. We live in a great time.
I think parents are too easy on their kids. They baby them. They're pussies. So their children act that way.
It goes back to that. Yep.
They create the children to expect what they expect and make people act how they do, ultimately.
I don't know.
It's just a vicious cycle.
It is. And being a parent is something I don't have an answer for. I've been thinking about that too, as I think of how would I be as a dad.
I think I'd be a great dad.
I don't know if I'm ready.
I'd be harsh on them, which they need.
They do. I don't know. I don't know how I'd be able to raise another human being, because at this point in time in my life, I don't even feel like I don't even think I'm capable of handling myself right now. I mean, I still fall into these weird habits. And the other day I just bought a game, and I had these past 2 days off, and I literally spent 20 hours in 2 days playing games. I'm like, holy shit, what is wrong with me? So when I think of taking care of another person, that just scares me, because one, I can't even control myself.
Yeah. So
I don't know. That was a weird topic to kind of segue into.
I don't know how we got to that.
I don't know how we got from should we have another world war to maybe a world war is not really extreme, but have people actually fucking struggle for once in their life. I mean, I learned that lesson when my senior year in high school, we went to a trip to Vietnam just to see some of my parents' old friends that were still there. And that was a big lesson for me.
Oh yeah,
put things in perspective.
just seeing that would change how you feel or how you even think. Because I mean, a lot of people have never experienced that in person. They've seen pictures of it in class or on Google, and like never actually seen a fucking homeless person.
Right.
And if they did, it could, but may not change their mind.
That's why I think, high schoolers, they should travel after they're done, being a senior.
Yeah.
They should plan a trip like a month.
They should see how great we actually have it here.
Yeah. Not even that. Just go to a different state. Go to a really bad area like Bronx. Maybe not Bronx. They might get killed there.
Go to Compton.
Compton's not that bad anymore.
I would hope not.
No, it's not, because the big artists who did make it out of there, and the other business owners and the other people did make it, they get back to their community.
Yeah.
Like a Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, unfortunately, who was killed a couple days ago, just out of nowhere. I mean, he gave back to his community like crazy. That was his main thing.
Those are the people we need, but we don't have those people.
I don't know. I don't know if I would be capable of doing more for other people.
It goes back to being selfish.
Yeah.
Which we all are.
We all are. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up pretty soon.
I mean,
as soon as, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think we've covered a good bit. I think there should be a part 2 for sure sometime.
This was, this was
I think we kind of went everywhere.
Nothing's wrong with that. I mean, you listen to Austin's episode. We went all over the place, dude.
And I feel like we were on the same track. We weren't as controversial as you and Austin went, or Austin went.
Well, I let Austin do his own thing, man. Because that was Austin.
I'll go more into true side hustling and how it works next time. If you want to do a part 2 solely on side hustling, because I feel like I could talk about it for hours.
Yeah,
and how I run things.
That's definitely a good idea.
We could go into that with the group one.
Huh?
We could go into that with the group one. So.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking about. I'm thinking a lot about the group one. I gotta figure out a month that we actually want to have this group podcast, and then I can start scheduling, because Daniel, I gotta work out Daniel's schedule. Everyone else's schedule too.
Yeah.
And the group podcast is definitely not happening here.
No, gotta happen at Austin's.
It's gotta happen. We might even have Austin's dad on for a little bit. God. Remember that one night he was super drunk and he was telling stories about how people have gotten killed off of games he was playing?
I remember.
That was fucking hilarious, dude. And we didn't even notice too, but he was playing Sean's.
He made me drive halfway across the fucking city to go get alcohol.
And then he was playing with Sean's pot, not weed, but pot.
Oh yeah.
Sean didn't have any money left, and then
so he bought him back in.
No,
he brought him back up. What happened? I can't remember.
Yeah, he just started winning and winning, and before I know it, he's basically second place with Sean's shitty chip stack. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up right now, TJ. So,
well, I thank you for having me, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. Maybe we went a bit all over the place, but I mean that's the nature of this show. Plus,
well, hopefully, whoever listens to this doesn't hate me, Lauren. Don't hate me. I love you. So
you don't gotta worry about people hating you. I gotta worry about people hating me. This is
like I said,
episode 16.
This doesn't follow any of my company's beliefs. If you find out where I work, so let's just say that we're a great company, have really good core values.
All right, so are you done plugging your company? Because I'm about to stop it.
Yeah, that's my plug.
All right, thank you guys whoever listened to this 2.5 hours of just insanity,
bullshit.
Yeah.
Shit talking people. Thank you guys for tuning in to us for sure. I've enjoyed it.
In my humble little YouTube channel. All right, guys. Thank you.